Oof.
Like it when you change your voice, Mariah.
That's my Vanna White voice.
All right, now that we're recording, we'll bring the meeting to order at whatever time it says.
6:10.
Hey there.
All right, first we'll go with the road report.
That truck we signed for the other day,
Yeah,
well, that has to go back through the drawing board to
all right,
get a couple of things squared away that wasn't gonna fit with the hone underneath the trucks, and they're in the process of figuring out if this can be moved or what needs to be, or to make it all work. And because they don't have much they can play with, because they gotta keep the drive shaft at such,
right, right.
right degrees and this and that. And so the worst scenario might be the frame will be 10 inches longer than we really wanted it to be.
Cause they would push the axle back.
That'd be kind of the worst scenario. I think it's quite doable and livable, but I think it makes the trucks ugly when they set that back there and nothing in there.
We have a toolbox here.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, maybe we could actually put a long, because the storage tank and everything goes there anyhow, and the
Right.
valves go there. And maybe that would be room for a chainsaw box in there.
Right,
Might be just handy,
I'm sure they make a plastic one or something that would sit right in there.
but I just wanted to let
Between
you
the cab and
know that,
Yeah,
Dump.
that is a,
Yeah.
possibility that some of the fix is gonna be, we're gonna extend it 10 inches.
and is it gonna be for the same price?
I believe it's the same price. We haven't heard nothing about being a different price, just that, when they got all done, two people got together and said, oh gee, that home can't fit underneath there. Cause see, we originally was gonna put a home underneath there that's just like the one Brookfield just bought. And that would have fit right in there beautifully, because it's the same size as,
I was gonna say, what's the difference?
it's just smaller, same length, but smaller. So it could turn over more.
Right.
And still do the
The,
job.
the blade is
Right.
smaller.
Right. And, but don't you know, I don't know if it's a good thing for him or not, but it was the last of that style they're building. They no longer build that style.
Oh,
And so,
oh,
we gotta go to the same size that we have underneath our new truck, our old truck. Our getting to be old truck.
Right.
And so
huh,
that makes a difference, because we thought we were going with that other home, because I thought this ought to be pretty easy, because I just liked the setup that they had over there, because he brought it right to the garage, and I tried it and this and that. And I said, yes, that's a nice unit, nice setup, and thought we were gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I thought we had it figured out.
Yeah,
But then the body people told us that they no longer make that blade. And might be good for Timmy, it might be bad for Timmy, because I don't know
Right,
about parts now.
Right,
yeah.
right.
They won't have it, they won't have a truck long enough to worry about it.
But
Huh.
the other thing I have is I had the state man come out here today and look at the Stratford Road right there by the dam.
Mhm.
Cause it's sliding away on us for some reason.
Yeah,
And
Are trees going with it?
no,
But the bank's not going, but the road is.
the bank is going, but the trees are staying where they belong. Ain't that's terrible? Because he said the same thing today as they've always told me. The trees are standing nice and tight, so you got nothing to really worry about.
I think we can fix that. Until the whole thing just.
Right, yeah.
Well, it's settling fast right now, and so anyways, we gave him a whole bunch of pictures that we've been collecting. And I told the boys, don't fill it tomorrow unless it comes necessary. And we'll get a couple days before they fill it and get some better, deeper pictures. But you can see it's starting to break there pretty bad. What I was trying to do was see if we get under the emergency
Right.
funding. And which would be 10%, if it goes over 10% of what our summertime budget is, they would pay for everything but 10%.
Mhm.
And so that would bring it down considerably. But now, that might not qualify because the guy doesn't think that this is really gonna classify as an emergency. There's a possibility we can trade in the paving grant and get a grant to fix the bank, but he wasn't really sure if we were in line to actually get a paving grant this year.
Yeah,
So that might be an issue. So here's my next step, and that is that we have put money aside for emergency funding.
Mhm.
And we may have to dip into that, to pay for this bank.
how much do we have in that, Becky?
About 130, you said this morning.
I said 132, maybe?
And
Is
you
it-
mentioned that the guys, we're gonna put some in it, is something that we can do, or you, I mean, have to hire.
Oh, they would have to be all hired out, because like he said, right in there next to that bank, you're gonna be looking at refrigerator size rock.
Right, so you have to go to the bottom and work it back up.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't, I think it'd be a rather steep one, because
Right.
it's 1 to 1.5.
Mhm.
So that's pretty steep, I would say, but to get back out of there, but. But anyways, I
Is
just,
there room in the river there to start something, or do you just?
You see, it's kind of a tough one, because there's a lot of ledge after a while, so he certainly ain't going below the ledge, and so. It may just go right to the river instead of 4 foot under,
Right,
but there's like 30 feet there that would have to go all the way to the brook. And then there's another 30 feet that could set on top of the land, like towed in right here, and then this would come to the brook. That, because it's out there too far, he wouldn't be able to go that far. There'd be an awful lot of rock try to hit the water.
is it crumbling around the culvert? It looks like.
Culvert's holding fine.
Yeah,
It's all just above it. And I said maybe the water on the other side of the road is actually creeping in and we don't realize it.
Yeah.
And he looked at it and he said he didn't really think that was the issue, but I still think that sometime this upcoming summer, we get Pat Ross or somebody gives permission to clean that another 50 feet
Mhm.
to get the water straight instead of all over the place right there.
That's good news.
Yeah, I knew it weren't gonna be good news, but it's what's going on and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna pay for it.
But it's something that ought to be done this summer.
Oh, it's gonna have to be. I mean, this thing will probably be a total disaster by another mud season.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll get it done this summer.
Carrie, that brick grant that we're working on.
Mhm.
Is supposed to be looking at the integrity of our roads. Is a fair amount of money off that state. Money they want to give up, but they want us to go through the brick grant, and I don't know if it would be in time, but the brick has the engineers look from the firehouse and up the Stratford Road. And then also up the Spring Road, and then after that, we're eligible for this big pot of money. It just, it's gonna be a year or so.
Yeah,
year
but
and a half.
if we took the money out of our emergency fund, maybe we could put it back in.
I guess we should be asking about that,
Right.
saying that some of the stuff is giving way already that we've been wanting to bring up.
Yeah.
There's something for us to work on.
But they're gonna look at that section anyway, aren't they? Is that what you
We
just
made
said?
sure we included that from what you had said over the
Yeah.
past years, so.
Nice. Thank you. What else you got?
Well, to the extent of what's going on today, so the mud season's still going, but seems to be easing off.
Yeah,
It was drying up fast and
Yeah, I hope it continues. This wind ought to help put
Yeah.
a number on it.
oh, yeah.
We've got the 10-wheeler now.
10-wheeler, yes, we have that. We don't have, oh, I don't know who, I talked about with Gary, but, the 4-wheel drive is back down there to, Freightliner. They haven't looked at it yet because, they just haven't had, they're swamped and ain't got it inside yet. But, I don't think it's that. I'm gonna tell you up front, I don't think it's that, but they're trying to think that it's gonna be an electric solenoid that's wrong with the truck. It would be a blessing if that's what it is.
So tell them what was the problem,
What's the
transmission?
matter with it?
It will only go in low range. It won't move in high range. But you can see the drive shaft shiver up and down a little bit, trying to go, but it won't go. But you put it into low range and truck will work off the front wheels. And it will move all right, and it don't make no noise nowhere. It's all quiet. It just, so I don't know what it really is, but
Well, I hope it's a solenoid.
no, that would be awful super nice if it was, but I have a terrible feeling that stub axe has probably lost its splines. What I think probably has happened to it.
Yeah. But no matter what, they're gonna fix it eventually.
Yeah,
That's costing us a lot of money.
well, Gary and I were saying that it's gonna be at least a year or thereabouts. If not longer, before another one shows up.
Yeah.
So really don't, I don't see where we have a choice.
Right.
And I don't see where it'd be worth dying it off for trading if it wasn't. So,
Yeah.
Keep fixing it.
so that's kind of what we're at with that thing.
We have to dip in the emergency fund for that. What we done?
Did we put any hard pack around in the dump area? You know, Bonnie McCullough, it was just so greasy at one point.
You know, I told Larry to do what he thought was necessary, and whether they ever got around to it, I honestly can't tell you. Best I can tell you with that there, I couldn't tell you if because that seems to dry up fast over there.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine now.
It can be an emergency one weekend and
Right.
all dried up the next.
The rec road's that way too.
Well, the rec road I've seen be muddy for 6 weeks, but that over there seems set on some fairly decent gravel, I think, or something.
Huh.
It drains out fast.
There she is.
Well, if that's all you got, you can leave.
All right.
Oh, and did we ever get the state engineer to look at the bridge?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was gonna ask him all kinds of questions, but he's actually on vacation. He was fishing when I talked to him. And he gave me Mike's number to call to get somebody up here to look at so I kind of forgot all about the stuff I was gonna ask him, seeing he was actually on vacation, but
Tell him there's trout in the river down below the Flint Bridge.
Right. Working vacation.
There's been one seen
Right.
there.
Doesn't have to go so far.
Yeah.
But I do believe they are trying to push on it because Rita is actually trying to keep them punched up for me
Yeah,
to get something that makes sense there to
Mhm.
do for the job. But I guess if I had to say I dropped the ball on that one, I guess I did.
Okay.
not if he's on vacation, but maybe by next time he'll
Yeah.
give us a date at least.
They don't have regular phones down there anymore. It's all cell phone, and so I had no idea he was out in the west.
Yeah. But he answered.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He said, I'd like to come see it myself, but he said, I'm way out here.
In Idaho or something.
I don't know exactly. I don't remember now where he did say, but but said when I got back, if I had to, I'd come up and look at it myself, but
All right.
all right.
All right, thanks,
Thank you
Rod.
very much. Keep
Thank you,
healing.
Rodney.
Yep. All right, it says here, town nurse, so she's here.
Just in time.
We'll welcome her forward. Well, if you want to stay there.
Company.
Yep,
It doesn't look like you have a broken arm either.
Doing better.
Oh, good.
It's just the nerves now that are the issue and
yep,
the gnarly scar on my
well, that's a baby,
arm there.
looks like a happy baby.
Yeah. All right. Not happy, spoke too soon.
Uh-oh.
First thing, I wanted permission to take on a contract with Dartmouth so that I can. It's like a charting system that I can access. They pretty much give me a code to their charting system, which I already used to work there, so all they have to do is give me a new password. But then I can look at, with permission from whoever I'm seeing in town, I can look at their records at Dartmouth and not have to like wait for them to fax it and email it and whatever, but we have to have like a contract with Dartmouth. And I have to have your guys' permission to do that. So I messaged Becky and Mariah, but I had to make it kind of formal that I'm requesting that we take on a contract with Dartmouth so that I can access their charts, if that's okay with you guys, and then just put it in the notes, Mariah, and then when I bring the contract, I think it's just a letter. It's an email I have to like forward to Mariah or whatever, and then, yeah, they'll give me a username and password, and then I just use their charting system. I think they only give me access to like a couple things on the chart, like I can't get to see everything, but it's the medications are really the only thing I really, so I don't have to, because a lot of people don't know what they're taking, and then I have to, it's a nightmare. So it just like makes things a lot easier for me. I can just go on Dartmouth, see what they prescribed, and then go from there. So that
And
was
if
my
somebody's
question.
in the UVM system, can you access that?
Not yet, so I'm working on that. Gifford, I already have access
Yeah.
to. It's just Dartmouth, and then, yeah, UVM would be the next. But right now, most of our clients go to UVM or go to Dartmouth or,
I'll back to Ag.
yeah, or Gifford, which APD is with Dartmouth now, so
Right.
I can see everything. So once I get access to Dartmouth, I can see APD. And then all Mount Scottney, I can see anybody, pretty much all surroundings that way.
Gifford's with who?
And Gifford is on their own, kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still,
Okay.
so, yeah, they have their own charting system, and then if I wanted UVM Medical Center in Barry, we have to get our own, so I'd have to come
Right,
and ask
for
you guys
Central
again,
Vermont.
yeah. But one step, but I'm getting there, so,
You're getting there,
yeah.
yeah. And we don't have to pay anything, it's just.
No, it's just, yeah, just username, and then too, like, it's easier, because I've already worked there, so they need like a background check and all that, well, they already know me, so, and I already had a username anyway, so they're just gonna change my password.
Right.
And I get like a little token that has numbers on it, and like it's very secure, and you have to like, so I'll just get a new token. And
Great.
yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
perfect. All right, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was how it's going. Just a summary, it's been going really well, I think. Judy Tucker has been a godsend to me of helping me navigate clients to start off. Been a little rough starting off, obviously, because people didn't know, but I don't think it's been rough at all. They've like been coming to me, honestly, and I've just been kind of triaging people on their like acuteness of like what I can help with, and helping a couple people a week and going from there. I did take a couple weeks off for maternity leave, so I've been making up hours. Like I've been working more than 8 now, you know, like I've been balancing it. And then because we started so late in the year, I feel like I have hours to play with too. So I've been working more than 8 hours right now, but I think we're on track. I'm working with Becky and with Marianne, and we're on a very good, I don't think I'm over budget at all. I think I'm doing very good about like, I'm very conscientious of that. So that's going well. I definitely think clients are happy thus far. There's limitations. I think that's why I want to do something in the Memorial Day parade, if that's okay, of getting some paper, like have my kids hand out papers of what I can do. Cause I think that is the issue, is people are calling me with like, they want me to like do physical care for them. Like, I just got out of surgery. Can you come, you know, do this and do my wounds? And I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding with that. But I've been working with the VNH and Bayada, and we've done lots of different things for people, and we're helping someone get a ramp. We're helping someone who just got out of the hospital, well, actually quite a few people who are just getting out of the hospital and getting them home and getting them all their services they need. And First Branch has been great. I'm hoping to get a better relationship with the South Royalton Fast Squad. I don't really know anyone yet on there. I have introduced myself to I think Mr. Kimball, I think was who introduced himself, but I haven't yet met with them. First Branch, Chase Ackerman and I went to school together, so like I know him, so it was really easy to just pick right up and like start going. But with them, I'd like to meet and how they would like me to contact them. I'm going on a visit with First Branch with a couple of seniors who seemed, when I tried to reach out, they're a little hesitant. So I'm going to try that avenue of them. They already know First Branch. And so I'm trying different ones. I've gotten some clients, housekeepers. I've gotten some clients in with their doctor that they haven't seen in a long time. I've helped one person with Medicare, Medicaid process. I've helped young people.
Is it word of mouth the way people find you, or are you being referred by like First Branch or?
Yeah, like a little of both. A couple word of mouth, a couple like of my like I'm at the co-op and someone sees me and they said they were worried on someone and they'd like give an address, and then I like reach out. It's what I'm finding a little challenging sometimes is the HIPAA things of like, you know, if they're a little reluctant to talk to me, to making sure they're okay by like talking to other people, but like not talking about their health. It's challenging. I'm finding that it's hard because I thought maybe it would be super easy for people to like, you know, hey, how's so-and-so doing? But it gets challenging for me because they're asking me of things and I'm not allowed to tell them. So I'm working on it. It's definitely interesting. But I think I'm loving it. I really am. I love the house visits, and like Trey's gone on some house visits with me and the clients just love it. They're like, we should be paying you to like have their like, you know, and helping them. I brought meds to people. I think my biggest struggle right now is the laundry for people. There's no laundromat, and so the elderly are just not doing their laundry. So I found a housekeeper that's willing to do it. She's bringing it to her house and doing it for a couple of my clients, but the concern is that like that's kind of short term. I don't like, and they're paying her to do it, but that was just something that I just would like to bring a concern for Tunbridge is how a lot of these guys don't drive to Bethel. They're struggling to.
Where is the closest laundromat?
Bethel right now.
Randolph,
Yeah, we're Randolph. Yeah.
Or
So
Coburn's.
Stratford, yeah.
Stratford.
there's one there.
Stratford still has it. We weren't sure. They were asking. I didn't know if it was still working. So that's good to know. But yeah,
You
so
get a grant to have a laundromat.
ARPA grant.
that's what I know that, you know, that's just something I'm trying to bring that I noticed a lot of is that housekeeping seems to be affordable housekeeping. They just need like, you know, just the basics, because they're, you know, like one person's hard, but they have oxygen and it's hard for them to, you know, do that. And then, or they have a hard time walking and they can't dust. And so those are the things, but I found one person, but that would be my next is I'm trying to, the neighbors helping neighbors necessarily are just an immediate relief, like, you know, bringing food, and I have utilized them for some deaths that we've had, but the like long-term is kind of more what I'm looking for. And I really want to keep it in Tunbridge because a lot of people are really hesitant, and I don't want to post about a housekeeper because I want to be able to trust this person going into these elderly homes. So that's the only thing that I'm working on now is trying to get like a caregivers and housekeepers and things that I trust telling my clients that they can have in their home. So I'm working on it. I found one caregiver and Penny Russell, and she's amazing. And she used to do this and then she stepped away. And now that she heard I was back, she came back and she's doing it very affordably, and the clients know her already. And so she's been a godsend, and I'm hoping for, I have one other caregiver that's interested. So just, and then it gives them a job in Tunbridge too, and then they don't have to drive away and it's local. So I'm trying those things. And then I'm also trying to go to community meetings at Gifford for resources. So that's been helping. I've been going to that once a month, and they keep me up to date on, you know, where there's gonna be food drop-offs and things, and so that's, I've been able to give that information out to my clients, at least I'm trying to figure out a way, I just started a Facebook page. I have about 4 people, I think, so far, it's only been open like a week and a half. But I'm trying to, but that's for the younger, more tech, my focus right now is not that group, and so I'm trying to figure out if maybe sending out postcards, I don't know how to reach them, or hanging up things, I'm not quite sure how. Word of mouth is helping,
Tunbridge
but,
I
Quarterly.
think that just.
and that's what Janet was saying, that next time I should put it in the quarterly,
But also just word of mouth.
Okay.
The more you do, the more people are
Right.
gonna hear about it.
yeah,
And
and
then a year from now, it's gonna be a whole different thing.
I'm hoping, and Mariah said that already somebody's called in that I've helped and gave positive reviews, so I was excited to hear that.
Now,
that
she raved about you. I was worried. She said, are you the person I talked to about feedback for the town nurse? And I said, oh man, here we go. And she said, Jody is just so wonderful, and went on and on for 10 minutes about how she went above and beyond. So everything I've heard has been really, really happy and positive.
I'm glad, I'm just hopeful that more people can hear, so that they know that like I'm here to help, and I think the biggest concern that people are having is it costs money, so that was the thing that a lot of the clients have been hesitant, because they're like, oh no, like I only have Medicare, I can't afford you. So that's been the miss. So that's why I'm thinking Memorial Parade, I'm gonna make little handouts and the kids can hand it out. And then maybe that would help, and word of mouth, somebody read it and then they can say, no, it doesn't cost anything. Because that was a big concern brought to my attention, is people were just worried that it was gonna cost them money, so they didn't want me to.
Is
come
there
in.
like a local council on aging for this area?
There is, so it is what are they, the Central Vermont Council of Aging.
Yeah,
My concern with them right now is their case manager is overloaded. She only works part-time and she's really rude. So our poor clients are having a really bad experience,
Yeah.
and then they're not wanting to get help. And so I can, once I get approved, I can help them with some of those navigations of the things. But I'm trying to go above and give that feedback to the Council of Aging, so that they can work on that. Because I'm not only dealing with it here in Tunbridge, and I'm dealing with it also Randolph as well, because they're the same Orange County.
Frank Basin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of it, I'm sorry.
So like if somebody needed bathing, for example, like, you would find.
Or they just farm and they can't cook for a month,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
and so I've been like, we just had someone who had surgery, so we were trying to set up, I think right now I'm just getting things off the ground, so there's lots of gaps right now of like, I just don't know. You know, like, so like they may be able to bring 1 meal or 2 meals, but I haven't, you know. My hope is that someday that like, or soon, that I'm gonna know enough volunteers and people that, and caregivers and everything, that there won't be gaps and it'll be very helpful. But right now I'm trying to navigate what people need, and then 2, neighbors helping neighbors, you know, have been up and down, and now they have like, so I'm like streamlining things, and like, so they're not used to that capacity either. So we're starting to like get to know like who's actually still volunteering, because they have a big list, but a lot of people like hadn't volunteered in a long time, and the number doesn't even work, and or they're older themselves and like they can't help anymore. And so we're navigating it. They're really great when they were helping neighbors, Holly, and they're awesome. So I'm getting to know them as well, because I didn't even know about them until starting this position.
Right.
So yeah, so that's been going well. And I think too, just like, for example, you have a client who just fell and broke their femur, and now they need a shower chair and they need these things. So I can get those things for them. And so I do have an extra walker downstairs. And I've been acquiring resources of knowing where things are. So I got a walker for someone, I got a shower chair for someone, and then like those type of things. Or if also like another thing that I helped someone with that I really want to help in the future is like young families moving to town and navigating. Where do they take their kid for a pediatrician? Where do they go for,
Pharmacy.
pharmacy or food stamps or whatever their health insurance or whatever. So I did help a family with the health officer move out. It's just not, I was kind of sad to move them out. They're a really nice family, but I'm trying get that out. So that's why I started a Facebook page to reach the younger. So that, and I'm putting out resources like there's a summer camp in Stratford. So helping people with trying to find childcare, because I'm very familiar with that personally. I'm dealing with it right now. So I know of there's grants and I know of like what summer camps are still open so that type of thing. And then helping with, even like, so I went to the senior dinners. So I've been doing that. So just getting to know the seniors and then when they're ready to transition to like Riverbend or something. I had a client, I just did this with my other job, but that's my hope for here in Tunbridge is that when I start to see them decline, helping the family navigate that. What are the openings? Because right now they're booked, like there's a shortage of LNAs and everything. So there's not a lot of places open. And I kind of, people call me and be like, so-and-so has a room. And so like helping people with that. And we had someone that we were concerned about that needed help with sugaring because they had hurt their elbow. And so I was trying to find volunteers to just help so that he would actually heal. And, like things like that you would never do in a hospital setting at all, but they'd actually heal if I'm able to help volunteers find them to help them around their home or whatever they need to do. So yeah, I think right now it was challenging. Just I had a baby in the middle of it. So I feel like I'm figuring out how this works, but I haven't been doing as many home visits as I'd like. Doing maybe one home visit a week right now, but everything else has been on the phone or they call me. A lot of the time they call me and they're like, hey, I have to do blood work. Where's the closest lab or how do I because First Branch will come to your home with orders from a Gifford doctor. So I've been navigating that. So I've gotten, people didn't even have to leave their home recently. I just got First Branch to go and they got the labs and I sent the labs to Dartmouth and Gifford ordered them, but then it was Dartmouth who wanted them. And so I navigated that and it was perfect. They didn't even have to leave their home. I've helped another client with a virtual appointment. They never would have done it unless I was sitting right there with them because they do not know how to run a computer or the phone or anything. So I've been helping, just keeping them, that saves them a whole day, finding a ride, all that thing. So those types of things. So I think it's going really well. I'm excited. It's slow. But I already have, we're going to get our report. They're going to give you the report, which is numbers, just the statistics off of my charting system. But I think that I have 14 steady clients right now. So, and I've just started really in December, really. I mean, I know that we got approved in November, but December is when I first started going out to see people. Then it was Christmas. And then I got bit by the dog. And then I had a baby. So in the middle of it, I still have 13. And then I think the biggest thing right now is just word of mouth. And I'm hoping that if I put my face out there for Memorial Day and I come to more frequently meetings and people here, and then that I'm still here and two, people have been seeing me. I mean, I don't know. I laugh, I should wear like a sweatshirt or something. So I like always have something on so that people, keep seeing it. But that's why I said maybe a poster. I have little cards, Becky made me little yellow cards I've been handing out with my name and number, nothing fancy, but yeah.
Put a poster up at the dump.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah, with everybody does.
So
in the stores or whatever.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe. And then too, North Tunbridge has that beautiful upstairs. And I just used that to meet with Becky Folk and Bob Fernia about the health
Oh, yeah.
hub.
Yeah.
And that's also one other thing I want to talk to you about. And it was perfect space. Like I totally see that if anybody wants to meet with me, but they don't want me to come to their home, or if they just have a question, that is a total neutral, relaxed place. It's beautiful up there. Nice sitting chairs, a couch, and
In this store here.
yeah, upstairs. Yeah, right upstairs. They have like a couple nice like sitting chairs, a little table, a couch. You can get a sandwich, coffee downstairs. Yeah, it was very like informal, but nice,
Okay,
very casual meeting. So yeah, I just called and said, hey, can we book the upstairs? She's like, no problem, and it was really cool. And then too, now she know the Tunbridge General knows about the town nursing, so she's starting to like, because that's also how I've heard from other towns, is that the stores actually are a perfect, like, hey, I saw so-and-so walking in, not so good, why don't you check on them? And that's kind of how, like, it's challenging, but that seems to be how the major like clientele are coming from these town nurses and parishes. They're coming from church, they're coming from town meeting, they're coming from, I saw so-and-so at bingo. So I feel like if I just get that word of mouth out there, that it's okay to just say, hey, because I'm super like non-invasive. I just go up and like, I just look at you and like, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe they do need a little, or I just see, and if they say no, like I've had 3 people tell me, no, not right now. You know, like I said, luckily we live in a small town, so I know who their brothers and sisters are. So then I always say, hey, I checked on so-and-so, let me know if he needs me. And that seems to be coming across really well too. So family members are then more aware that, you know.
So what
tell us
about the
about
other?
The health hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, Health Hub. Okay, so I met with Becky and Bob Fernier. So Health Hub right now is a trailer that goes to the schools, and you know that does cleanings and pretty much takes Medicaid. Well, they take anyone, but they do it. They've been successful for the last 14 years. They're great. I love them. They do my kids. They literally, actually, my kids actually get dental care because, you know, it's really hard to get dentists to take Medicaid anymore. So they are offering, they sent in an ARPA application. They are getting about 100,000 from Gifford. They're getting 10 or 15,000 from South Royalton, possibly another 10 from Sharon. They're looking for, they wrote 50, but they said that they're open, really anything helps. They're running down 110. Even if we don't, they're gonna plan on doing this no matter what. The thing is that a lot of these clients are gonna help our Tunbridge. I really think we should help. I don't know, it's just how much I really think that we should contribute, because these are gonna help Tunbridge. Their plans right now is parking at Anakini and parking at I'm gonna call it Welch's the rest of my life. Abashans are gonna be their 2, that's what their plans are.
Where the trailer would go.
Yes, and that's so what this money is going towards is, they already pretty much have the funding for the trailer. It is to the salary of getting a hygienist and they're called therapists, dental therapists. Right now, they already have a hygienist hired. She just needs to finish, she needs the training to do what is like, so Vermont's about, John might be more aware, but they're about to pass this October, they're looking to pass where hygienists can work to the top of their licenses, where they can do cavity fillings that's not drilling. So it's a type of solution chemical that they put on, and it actually encapsulates the decay, and it like literally like grabs onto it, and then it turns it this different color, and then and then it seals the cavity. So the hygienist could then do that. So instead of getting your teeth drilled, you would then put this chemical on your tooth, and it would encapsulate the decay and stop it. And then they would put, then obviously for cosmetic, they can put, you know, they can cover it like a filling to make it blend in with your tooth, but it's stopping the decay. And so what their hope is they get the hygienist, the money will fund their salary so that we can get going, because they're trying to get people to stay to work, and then Medicaid would then, their plan is just like the health club that they've been running, is that Medicaid would then pay for their salary continuous. It's just getting started and getting someone in here and invested into the program, and then obviously, you know.
So this would be for adults, it's not.
And for adults, so no, so that's for kids. They already cover Tunbridge, they already cover.
Right.
This is for adults.
Right.
So their thing is that they would run pretty much for Tunbridge, 4 to 8 months of the year, there would be a dentist right here on 110, 110 to 14. It would either be at Anakini or there, where you would get your teeth cleaning. You would be able to get cavity care. You would be able to get x-rays. You would be able to get, at this point, you can't get a root canal or a bridge, but Their hope is that's why they're trying to get someone in from Minnesota, I think, or Michigan. Bob would be able to tell me, he's probably listening right now, and he's yelling at me. He told me where the dental program was. But their goal is, so the next step is they're trying to get a program at VTC. So that so this is a long-term plan, is that we're trying to get these dental therapists to program at VTC so that we can then staff our health hub and keep everything local. But that's obviously looking down the road. Right now, what they're looking for is to start up the salary for a dental hygienist so that they can staff the trailer. Because right now, I think pretty much what I got, they already have the funds to build the trailer. It's just the staffing it is what they're trying to raise money for. And so that's why, and they would be serving pretty much Chelsea, Tunbridge, South Royalton, and Sharon's interested as well. And that's it right now, because that's all that they can handle. Their future is to get another trailer for the Bus area, but right now, Becky's focus is 110 because there's such a need. I'm dealing with it personally. There's no dentists around here that take Medicaid or a sliding fee right now. They're so ridiculously unaffordable. So I had to drive all the way to Burlington just to find an affordable dentist. And that's what a lot of people, and so people just aren't getting dental care. And then what's happening is you're getting abscesses, infection, it's going to their
Emergency
joints,
room.
and we're seeing emergency room visits. And so I feel that this is a great addition to community nursing. I think this will be really great for Tunbridge adults. And then what also they're trying to do is get it right on 110 so that it's in your face. So they don't want it off on some back road. They want it right in your face so that people see it and it's easy to get to for elderly. And yeah, and their hope is obviously next steps is they will have a therapist there that will be able to do dentures. They will be able to do a friend. They will be able to do anything. But right now it's just, I mean, honestly, what we don't even have that right now. We don't even have hygienists to clean teeth or do cavity care. And that's the start.
It would draw from Chelsea and Royalton.
Yeah, Royalton, Chelsea, Tunbridge,
Right.
and maybe Sharon. They're not sure. Sharon's interested, but they haven't, the location is more 110. And so they did file an ARPA application. They have a whole proposal. They have the numbers for you for sure. I don't know if they gave it to you, but they have all that there. But my big thing, what I wanted to hear from them is how is it gonna help our Tunbridge clients like now? Like, who is it gonna help and how is it gonna help them? If it was just teeth cleanings, and that's it, and they had no future plans and they didn't have any future funding, I wouldn't be as open to it. But for me as a nurse, I feel like I'm going to, like they said, we're going to work hand in hand because I'm going to refer people to them. I'm going to see their dental teeth. I'm going to be out there talking to people and encouraging them to go get their teeth cleaned or their cavities fixed.
It's also the one-time funding, so we get it up and running, but then
Yeah,
the community served would have to come up with more money. Right?
exactly. And I think that they've got a good plan. And then like Becky said, I did it on the health hub, we are keeping ourselves funded on that. And, and then it's a sliding fee. So it's based off of Gifford. So anybody who doesn't have insurance or, other insurances, they take that too. So this just isn't for Medicaid patients. This is for everyone. It's just that Medicaid is going to be the one that funds a lot of their, into that's really the need right now is people who are not insured at all or that have Medicaid, because those are the two people that aren't getting dental care. So yeah, that was I agree. I don't know the details of obviously financial. I'm a nurse. I'm just giving my health perspective. I do think that Tunbridge, it's serving our community members. I do think that we should invest in it. I'm not saying all of the amount, not at all, but I think that we should definitely, because I feel like we're going to be the face of it. I mean, if they're using the person who owns Anakini just offered that space to them. So that's going to be in town. So I definitely think that we should be aware and open to them. So, and then they have a whole funding plan that they already use with the other health hub that keeps them going. But it's just getting someone here right now is why they need extra funds right now.
All right, Thank you.
Yeah, so that's that, and then I had one other for health officer. Route 110, right across from North Tunbridge, the one I've been working on, emailed me, with some questions and concerns about the lead plan and if I was open to relieving the health order. And they were gonna bring it to your guys' attention. I feel that I'm not ready to lift it. I do feel that their lead plan is good. I do think they have a great lead plan. They're going to start, they hired a company, they're gonna start coming in soon, actually, I think May, which is great. My concern is they didn't really address the infestation of the bugs. They didn't address that. I understand it's winter and they're like, oh, but they're gonna come back of whatever they were. My other concern was fire safety, Vance, the fire safety did not pass them either, so I'm going to direct that. That's his issue, they need to talk to him. According to the guidelines, they are supposed to write a written proposal to us, because you guys are the health board, as well, and you guys need to sign off on that, but they need to do a written proposal, so that's what I'm gonna say, write a written proposal, and I'm gonna bring it back to you guys, but really what I'm hoping to see is that they address all of my concerns, because they address the two major ones, water and lead, which is great, but there's still lots of other reasons, so I'm still letting you guys know, I'm leaving that health order on. I do not want them renting until they address all the issues. I know they're going to be upset with me, but I do feel that they need to show proof that they had a exterminator in there. I know there's no bugs maybe right this second, but they were beetles coming out of the woods. So I do not feel that they're going to go anywhere. Maybe they're hibernating right now, but, and then there were lots of fire safety things so I just wanted to let you know
All right.
that, and then, I had one other thing for you, but now I can't recall. We already touched upon. Oh, grant, that's what it was. Yes, I got approached by someone from the state. There's a $5,000 grant for nurses to invest into their community or investing in future home health or education. I am gonna go to this meeting and see what they have to say. They felt that Tunbridge might be a good resource. So what it is they would pay me, they'd give me $5,000, it would be to pay me to train people interested in town to be LNAs or MAs. I can't do the MA, I'm not certified, but LNA, I've already talked to the state about this in the past, so I do feel confident that I could train. I don't know how it would quite work. I think it would be, I would advertise, it would be like 4, 5 spots that it would be of people. I just don't know how you guys would want it. Like, would it be that they have to live in Tunbridge for me to train them? Or would they have to serve in Tunbridge? I don't quite know like how it would work, but I wanted to just let you guys know I am gonna go meet about that. I'm interested. I feel like this would be perfect for if I train some private caregivers, LNAs, to go out but then I don't know how it works of keeping them, because if I train them, then they could go work anywhere. So I don't really know how that quite works.
Well, find out.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know, and then I'll bring it back to you, and if you guys have any ideas of, contract, like, I feel like I'm kind of contracting with people. I'm not hiring them directly, but I'm giving them business. So, yeah, so if we could think about just a proper way of doing that.
Yeah. All right, we'll look into it and get back to us.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any other questions, concerns before I?
No.
Perfect. Thank you, Mariah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Take care.
Me too.
You move that thing off the screen. I do it, but I'm not certified.
You're not the AAA.
No. Don't dare.
Oh,
Look at that, he did it.
that,
Good job.
Wow,
Can you move that little hand now?
like,
So if I give Jonathan,
Give him a high five.
well, I was thinking of something else.
Glad you're feeling better, Mike.
All right,
Now we're behind.
now we're behind.
You wanna move this tree warden thing to last?
Yeah, let's just do
Yeah.
that, because we don't need an audience for that in particular. You want to go to legal trails next?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go to legal trails next and do the other stuff a little bit later. I guess I'll start with what I know, which isn't much. I talked to Terrence, our lawyer, and he said that anything that we would do with legal trails as far as allowing people to walk, allowing them not to walk, or open them up, whatever we want to do, won't affect the lawsuit
Okay,
adversely. So we can make any decision as far as like the horses wanting to walk or not walk on Falls Hill Trail. And I don't remember if it was he who said, or was it something you brought up or something about the landowner in, where did I see that?
Right, it's probably maybe in.
Yeah, the landowner can invite anyone onto their legal
Yeah.
trail.
Well, their land,
Yeah,
essentially, it's not their legal trail, but
Yeah.
it's,
well, the legal trail that crosses their property.
right,
they can go on the town's right away
Yes,
legally.
Yeah. so Mr. What's his name there?
Hemingway.
Hemingway can,
Let the horse club
Yeah.
go across
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
If he wishes.
And the select board, I mean, it's somewhat in opposition to our temporary order.
yes,
But at the same time, I guess we could be neutral on it or whatever. I mean, it's really up to him
yes,
as far as he and Karen Blow figuring out something that, as long
Yeah.
as it doesn't degrade our right of way,
right.
I don't see any problem because it's one landowner who controls the whole property.
But I guess it helps us in it that we don't have a policy or even unofficial policy or whatever, that we won't allow anything other than foot traffic. And then saying, okay, well, but we'll allow horses on that one legal trail.
Right, but
Because
we're not really, I mean, we're,
Well, that's what I mean. It gets us off the hook, so to speak.
yeah,
That's what I had.
Question.
Go
So this was the lawyer Tarrant saying that the private landowner. Well, he didn't say this, but let's say the town. Did have a policy about, well, it does at the moment.
Yeah.
Walking only. But then the private landowner where the legal trail goes through. Could allow a usage that is contrary to what the town has as
Yeah.
its policy.
Mhm.
And that is something that's in statute, or that's just his opinion, or that's,
That actually came from John talking to legal counsel, wasn't it?
yeah.
In the legislature. So it wasn't our lawyer. that
So
said
I don't know if it's specifically in statute,
Hmm,
but as far as somewhere probably right in court precedents or statute. As far as property rights,
hmm,
Cause the landowner owns the land, we just have a right of way through it.
right.
So he can still,
but he can, like on Hemingway's. I think a skidder went up and down that road, a
Yeah.
wheeled vehicle, so that's in violation,
Right.
in a big. way,
Oh, okay.
right? Yeah, so
Right.
same sort of
That
thing.
is-
Yeah,
And so in this case, particularly with maybe with a horse event, that would apply to an event, that clearly is an event.
Yeah.
And because there was previous discussion by the planning commission recommendations, but once again, this is kind of like a subset because the private landowner can allow.
Mhm.
So I wonder if a private
but,
landowner,
but it's a little different there, cause he's the only one that owns
Right.
that trail. Or that trail
okay,
is only
there,
on
the
his land.
Falls Hill one, as
If
opposed to,
John- If John would to let,
they both have to agree in the
Right.
case of both Johnson. have to
Shared,
agree. Okay.
So then it's almost like a. I mean, I don't know how it works with Vast, but. Property owners have to give permission
right,
for Vast to be there.
right.
And in the case of. Baptist Hill Legal Trail, right? It's a legal trail. We don't really say yes or no, that you can have a snow machine on it, but it's the property owners saying
Yeah, right.
we're using that. So it's interesting how you.
And as much as anything,
Well-
the VAST has a liability insurance in case something goes wrong.
Same with Hemingway's, I mean, Falls Hill, that's a snow machine trail,
Same thing.
and
Right.
he's given them permission.
Right. So we don't know if 100 snow machines go down on a day or won't.
Right,
Right.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
So what about the case of damage done by, let's say, a major event where the private landowner who has the right to allow that event goes through? And there's significant damage to the legal trail. Is it up to the private landowner to make good on that? Or is the town just sort of stuck?
We don't know.
Might be a good follow-up question.
Yes, Brenda.
You asked me, I got most of those signs on, I had to write on the back of some of them. And on Falls Hill, I just did the entrance.
Mhm.
Cause I was
Right,
running
you
out of
can't
paper.
access the other way.
And I got one for you to put up on your end crossroads, I've done Priscilla's.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
didn't put anything up on Baptist Hill about the road being closed.
Oh,
I
no.
ran out of, I ran
I
out
wouldn't
and I
worry about
thought I was gonna go up there
would you
anyway.
have just one sign?
What's that?
Would you have just one sign?
I only had a couple of road closed signs left and I turned the others over and scribbled on them.
To make it official. Anyway, that was preemptively, I asked Brenda if she would put up the signs again for us, and so I don't know if we need to actually make it official here at this meeting that we're gonna. We request that the road, the legal trails be closed between now and Memorial Day, for instance.
I put up May 30 because that was what was on the other signs.
Yeah, May 30th then.
And
So
then Mariah sent us something on recommendation, right, from, who was that from, Mariah? That was like,
I don't know, it's in your packet, I put it in there, I printed it out too, so that you could see that.
Probably Green Mountain.
yeah,
It's from somebody at vermont.gov, Director of Lands Administration and Recreation.
Becca Washburn. I just
Yeah.
had her committee.
Yeah.
He's also director of VOREC.
Oh, yeah. I know about that. Yeah, he's a good person to keep in touch with.
Yeah.
What is VOREC?
Vermont Outdoor Recreation Economic
Collaboration.
Collaboration. Yeah, I was at one of the initial meetings that they had,
Really?
oh,
Yeah.
like 6 years ago,
Wow.
down in White River Junction. Phil Scott, big supporter for it.
Yeah,
I bet.
that went from like 100,000 to 200,000 to now 5 million.
Big
Yeah,
time.
Yeah. All right, so I move that motion. That
Here we are. Then we close the
legal
trails.
trails are closed to everybody, just to pedestrian?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Until Memorial Day.
Till May 30th.
I second
May
it.
30.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oh, Jonathan Bittnell has his hand up. Jonathan, would you like to speak?
Yeah, sure. It has nothing to do with that motion, but Todd mentioned it earlier. In 2021, we made that recommendation. It's always worth looking at it. And on Falls Hill, we talked about the proper signage, right? Because of the trespass potential, right?
At the end.
Yeah. Do we have a good sense of the end?
What do you mean by,
The
Yeah.
end of the legal trail? To
I
put
think
the signage.
oh, where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3/10 of a mile, so you could pace it off or something.
Right.
I don't know,
Well, there was a sign there. I think it was in a fairly accurate place
Okay.
a couple months ago. I don't know if it's still there or not. Yeah.
sign put up by who?
It's one I put there. I tried to meet with Hemingway a couple of times and we didn't connect.
Oh,
I just,
okay.
I had a couple of neighbors came up and said, this is close.
Right.
Okay,
It's not accurate.
okay, so we do have an idea, yes.
Great.
All right,
That's all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got that settled. The other thing is, I think we need to keep forging ahead on, we told Mr. Hemingway
Right.
that we would have some resolution by springtime, or I don't
Yeah.
remember, maybe it was Memorial Day or something.
I think it was May 30th, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, and then what's happening with the appeal, the declaratory judgment, where are we in that? Did the lawyer say anything about that?
Just that they had, I think at that point, they had filed to dismiss or whatever the terminology is because.
Again,
Yeah, again, and there was a deadline of something, it may have passed by now. The other Echeverria has to respond,
okay,
or the lawyer, I mean,
right,
so I don't know exactly where we are right
but they haven't set a hearing like they did
No.
last time. You haven't heard of that?
I didn't look at the docket number lately, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. And whether the judge has changed in Chelsea or not,
It may have, yeah,
may have, I didn't.
yeah. Okay. Good,
now.
and the bill's not gonna, go anywhere this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
You were in the paper about that. Yeah,
Or,
yeah, today's paper, Valley News. Francis Mize.
so what do we want to do about? Offering Mr. Hemingway to. Get
I
rid
still
of,
wanna talk to your brother and Timmy, I guess, just about the possibilities of a vast light connector.
well, I mean, has anyone talked to Tim Angel and Janet about? I mean, because I was thinking about that when I was milking the other night, well, has anybody talked to Tim yet?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
if Tim says sure, then we can keep going, but if
Right.
Tim says no, then we're dead in the tracks.
Right,
I can try to get a hold of him.
Okay, I appreciate it,
Talk to him sometime, and I'll talk to my brother.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I know what my brother's gonna say. but You never know.
I hope he doesn't swear,
He doesn't never swears.
okay, good. He's a good boy.
unlike his brother.
So anyway, at least by next meeting, maybe you can have talked to Tim and get an idea whether he's
Yeah.
amiable or.
And,
Just
and
willing
you
to talk,
wanna,
we could get them
and
together.
you wanna just get permission, like a vast permission.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So people can walk through there.
Yeah.
Or,
A marked trail and have it like every year, they can say yes or no.
okay, yeah, that was my next question, whether it wants to be a year or 10 years or 30 years or,
It could be any of those, but.
Yeah.
I kind of defer to them because
Yeah.
it's their land. What they're comfortable with. I think vast is every year, right?
yes,
and then. Who
now,
wants to take?
who's who's gonna be liable for this?
What do you mean liable?
If Timmy says it's all right to write down there, and Todd writes down, and flips over and breaks his neck. He sues Timmy.
So one thing I found out from legislative council is that Vermont has very strong. I can't remember what it's called, it's like limited liability for landowners. So like a hunter trips and shoots himself, it's not the landowner's fault, and Vermont has a lot of
Okay.
statute protecting
know.
landowners from that sort of nuisance.
I know vast is covered somehow so that. If you smash your snow machine up
Into a
to
tree.
Gary's,
Yeah,
no, Gary's not liable.
exactly.
It's all. Okay,
Well, we can look at
So
maybe,
it's pretty strong. I could double check on that, but
right,
Yeah, and I think if the survey were to happen and it was to establish that that there is a right of way, not necessarily a legal trail, but a right of way, I would think that would have, as you said, the protection for the land.
right, if it was a right of way.
Right,
But if we just asked Timmy if we could go across his land,
it's private land without
Right.
any previous history of there being, yeah,
Right.
that would be a problem.
like vast, it may be like an annual easement. So it becomes,
Well,
a
just
type of right
contract,
away,
yeah.
right, yeah.
so if we get that far, who's gonna spearhead this? Is it gonna be the select board or we're gonna throw it in Jonathan's lap?
Jonathan,
That was quick.
All right,
That was too quick. That was too quick.
that's good though, I like that decisiveness. Anyway, I just wanted to know that, so that as long as are you willing to do that, Jonathan?
Hold on, I'm hitting all the buttons. I think it's a good exercise for us.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we need someone to take it from beginning to end, as
Yeah.
far as I'm
Just be a
concerned.
mediator and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Mike will do the initial investigating. And then we'll get back to you next meeting.
yeah, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Is that enough talking about legal trails?
Yes.
All right.
Not from here.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
another question.
So, no, just a comment
can
and
you
to
get
go
a
back.
yellow hand?
Oh, shoot, could I borrow one from over there? Maybe there's a yellow marker here. Just when we get to that May 30th date, we had, Jonathan was part of it, and Rudy and myself and a few other people, when we were looking at the trail and thinking about, and I don't want to get into the whole maintenance thing, but to go back to usage. And that, I don't know what the rest of spring is going to bring as far as weather wise, but right now, it's quite possible that things will be very dry by May 30th, which is great.
Mhm.
And I would strongly advocate, as I have, and several other people have for a long time. And now that you've gotten the question answered from Attorney Tarrant, that the usage question does not affect the maintenance issue, the core issue of the lawsuit, that the select board consider going back to what has been the traditional non-motorized, and I would even add, even though there's the exception with a private landowner, non-event recommendation that both the Legal Trails Committee and the Planning Commission made for the use of the legal trails.
Mhm.
So that would, in a sense, include obviously walking and horses and biking, and not be just limited to another possible year of walking only on the trails.
And I'm pretty sure, and I'd have to double check, but Terrence said that we could be specific about which trail we could do different things on different trails. And I was just thinking about Crossroad. If you stay strictly on the Crossroad, it's pretty tough to even walk through there sometimes because of the clay on the surface and the trees over the road and stuff.
Mhm.
And so we might want to just say, well, we don't want to do Crossroad this year. Let's wait on that, but
Right.
we can do other.
Let's wait until
trails.
John's bill passes next year.
Right,
Okay,
right.
it's gonna pass, right, Jim?
Well, there you
Yeah.
Well, I think there's support for it, but.
Yeah. All right. If there's no other questions. I don't see any. We'll move on to. I lost my list.
Or for applications.
ARPA. Luckily, Mary Ann's here.
Can we get a grant to open up a laundry in Tunbridge?
Yes,
Good.
Well, go for it.
All right.
and NBRC, I was just looking at it last week. I was hoping we could do some weatherization with it, but we can't because it has to generate new jobs.
New jobs.
So if you
What's
want-
that?
Jody said a lot of elderly people aren't doing the washing and stuff because they gotta drive to Bethel or Stratford to go to a laundromat. So Gary's thinking of adding on to his house
Yeah,
and having a laundry.
Nice.
you could put it in the neighbor's garage, but maybe in the neighbor's house, it's even better.
The neighbor wouldn't know.
No, she's living elsewhere.
I bet she has a great septic system.
Yeah.
Probably a whole new permit, yeah.
Yeah,
That would
We
be,
could put it in West Tunbridge, we put it in David's garage.
yeah. And then without joking about it, I mean, it would only take a washing machine or two and a dryer or two.
Yeah, you just have to have a space.
Yeah,
but if it's commercial, it may.
well, even if it was, even if we, the town owned it and it was by donation or something
Right.
as a public service, we wouldn't want
Maybe.
everybody and their brother coming in using it.
Well, I just know all water standards
Yeah.
are tricky,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yes. Anyway. That's for another meeting.
Mary Ann's gonna check into it.
Yeah. So we're gonna review these things, these applications, is that what we need?
Yes.
As a memory?
So I have my laptop open with the grid of all the different pieces we said.
We have the grid in here.
So,
I didn't see the,
no, I emailed it to you, but it doesn't print. It's like
Oh,
it's a big long
it's a
thing.
long spreadsheet.
Right,
doesn't
right, yeah.
print nicely for you. Mariah tried, but it didn't look right. So if we want to take them one at a time, I can read you we can talk about each one and you can tell me.
There are
whether-
10?
What's that?
10 of them?
10 of them. Let's see.
It's quite a pile here. Does everyone have a pile or is it just this one pile?
Just you.
Well, we can share them.
How come you get a pile?
They're just kind of a community pile. It's not
I think
mine.
it's 11.
Do you want copies?
Oh, hold on.
No,
I think it's 11.
Okay.
too much paper.
Bit too much already.
What's the first one?
Do
then?
we have a metric rubric of how we're gonna somewhat grade them or just,
Yeah, so let me read you the things. This was what came up at the meeting in the town
Right.
hall.
Yeah.
Long lasting impact benefits many people in the town.
yeah,
Considers future financial impacts. Mostly that was about like, it doesn't set us up to have to pay more in the future.
right,
Recognizes climate change or disaster resiliency. It's a want versus a need. Improves socially equitable outcomes for our community. It allows us the ability to leverage match or grants. It comports with the town plan. It supports accessibility, and it enhances transparency. Which I actually don't know what that one means, but
the
So,
first two seem to be the really big one.
Yeah,
lasting, and so I put them in order of the number of votes they got.
Right,
So
yeah.
lasting impact benefits many in town. Conscious of future financial impacts. Those are the top three that got the most.
Right,
votes.
yeah,
so how about we just go down through them and just say what they are first,
Mhm.
and then it'll give us an idea in our minds how to, I mean, how we might want them to go. That makes sense.
What order do you want to do them? And I have them, I probably am not in the same order that you have.
Well, why don't you stay with your order and then I'll
Okay.
adjust.
All right, so the first one I have on my list is install lights at the ball field. It's the $10,000 request from Kathy Galuzzo and the rec committee. There is a number of recreational grants out there that I could apply for. The one that is probably most likely to receive has a September 10th submission deadline, which means we wouldn't know anything about it for months after that. So at this time, we don't have any matching grant, but we potentially could.
oh, just before we get started, any postscript on the piece of property?
I haven't heard anything else.
Yeah,
See it there.
He's already been rated or floored with
No.
doing it now.
Yeah,
You want something on the whiteboard so you can follow, or
do you want to write on the whiteboard?
I will if you wanna.
Sure,
She changed speaker to-
I know that, but I asked if you wanted to, not which the board.
you taught in West Tunbridge.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's where she's
Did you find it there?
No, it's not in here,
not in here.
not for 10,000.
Betsy, the markers are on the table.
Oh, they're over here. then.
Dry
You've
erase
got a lot of colors to choose.
inventory.
Thanks, Mariah. What are the criteria again?
Long lasting impact.
That was long lasting.
Jeez.
Yeah. Is that green?
Long lasting.
Benefits many.
Ooh, it stinks.
We'll leave the cap on.
And conscious of future financial impact.
What does that mean?
Like we don't fund something that then we have to pay money in the future to continue to support.
Is that it?
Those are the top three. You want to put any others on there?
No, I don't.
They got the most votes, didn't they, by far?
By far.
Okay, so the first one was
Ball
the
field.
ball field.
Well, good lights.
Field lights for 10,000.
Yep.
I
You
think
can have it back.
on there, it tells us if they plan on contributing. Yes, this one, so the rec has money they could contribute and there is possibility of a grant.
So 10,000-ish.
Yeah.
You score them now? How are you scoring them? Pardon me?
They were going through the list first, they weren't scoring.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it'll really help to have it up there so we can actually. Look at it.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
thanks.
Next one, the Health Hub Dental Services, adding adult and expanding PD. That was for 50,000.
Yeah, we saw that.
Dental services?
Dental
Health,
services.
health,
But help hub.
Health hub. And that one, there is no grant we can go after because that they are going after grants themselves. They already actually received a very large HRSA grant. So this would just be 50,000 from us to support,
Get it started.
to get them started.
Hmm.
It's
What's
paying
HRSA?
for a portion of the salaries for their first year of operation. Sorry,
What's Versa?
HRSA,
Versa,
HRSA,
HRSA.
HRSA,
What is that?
health something,
Oh, it's a help one.
it's a health, big health.
Yeah.
Federal.
What's next?
Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Timber frame pavilion at the town forest, $12,000 to reimburse the town forest committee
For part of it.
for part of it.
Town forest committee?
It's the timber frame pavilion.
Just
But
put
they-
pavilion.
Oh, there it is, right there. Was there any grants or anything?
No, because this is money they already spent.
Yeah, I was gonna say they already.
I can't backdate.
How much?
Build it, and
12,000.
go find a grant. You better draw lines all the way across, or it's gonna get real confusing.
Good job up there.
Give me
Don't
the point, isn't it?
Go for it.
The next one is the town office weatherization,
Laser thing.
Pointer, that'd be nice.
144,000.
Was that part of the grant?
How
The
much?
original,
144. So this one is the one that we can apply for the MERP grant for,
okay,
that we talked about last meeting, but that grant doesn't open until the January of 24.
and
And we don't know if we would get it or not, because we're not considered a high priority town, as we talked about.
we don't spend any money on energy, I guess.
Burn too much wood.
Right? The,
Yeah, that one.
the next one is the sidewalk scoping project. This is a request for matching funds. So this is 9,900. They have scoping grant,
Was that a brick grant that we're matching?
not a brick, but it is a federal grant.
Okay,
And they've already received the grant. This is the matching portion, the 9,900.
and
9,900.
does the scope of the scoping then expand? Like, can they not do the sidewalk scoping if they don't get a matching?
Well, we're obligated to do the 20% match,
Which is,
the 9,900. So the money's gotta come from somewhere,
I get
ARPA
it.
or the general funds.
Right.
Oh, you're spending this money one way or another,
yeah. Right,
because you approved the submission of the grant.
yeah,
So it's this, sorry, plus Matt.
No, that is the match. That is the match. Yeah. Level 2 EV charging station. For 19,000.
Well, different. Yeah.
And I have been looking for grants. I haven't found any. You'd think I should be able.
Oh, yeah?
to, So. But I haven't found them yet.
and what level is that? Like,
That's the mid-level that in summertime, you would get between 25 and 30 miles of range per hour of charging. It's what you see mostly if you're driving around, those are level 2. The real fancy ones are well over $100,000 for the level, the high speed. And then at the park and rides, it's mandated now to have just a simple 120,
the
plug-in.
lowest level?
The lowest, which is about 3 miles per charge.
Wow,
3 months, and you can do that at home. When you get an EV, you've got a little nozzle, you can stick it in.
you know what the state houses are?
Oh, those are level 2, those are
Level 1.
Where's a level 1?
Next one.
You know,
the nearest level 1 to here, well, they're
Land
mandated now to
record
have them at all the service areas, and actually Rinkers has one.
Visualization.
no kidding.
That would probably be the closest.
That's a thick
Well,
one.
of course, it's not called Rinkers anymore, but
Right.
you know.
That's
The
from
barns.
Mariah. We
The
put all
barn.
of her research in there.
Oh,
That means,
just trying to make the impression.
yeah,
That's right. 18,923. All right. The next one is the Old Mountain Road right-of-way survey.
Does Betsy have maps of that? The Old Mountain Road?
She does have some older maps. She might be.
Keep going, bring it in, but I keep forgetting them.
How much?
8,000.
I got one to bring them.
Old Tunbridge map?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're talking about something.
And so I talked to Two Rivers about that one, and they didn't think that there were any of the V-Trans grants that would apply.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, the grid connected solar array for the town offices. $18,828.
No sense?
No sense.
Zero cents.
Tunbridge Baptist Church repair.
North.
The historical society, but it's for the
Oh,
church,
okay.
the old church.
Opposite the store, that one.
Yeah.
Isn't the Baptist Church South Tunbridge?
This is the North Tunbridge Baptist Church is how it's,
Okay.
Were they both Baptist churches?
so I don't know.
Methodist, one's Baptist.
Hmm.
How much,
52,500.
how much do we have for a total? 137, 97, something like that.
You give me 1 second, I have one more, and then I can give you that. The last one is the town hall weatherization.
In electrical or something?
And electrical. And so, John, this is one that you had sent me 40,000. But we have a quote from George White for 160,000
For
wasn't sure what
weatherization.
for full weatherization and the electrical.
I was thinking more electrical, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, so George's covers basement, first floor,
Mhm.
attic, and window replacement. It comes in at 160,
Okay.
And this building here is about the same, isn't it?
144.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to put here?
Do you want the full weatherization or just the electrical?
Let's just do electrical for now,
Just the
or
electrical.
split them into two, maybe.
Split them into two, okay. So the electrical is the 40.
160,
No, weatherization is 160.
right, that's the top one here,
Oh, sorry, electrical.
and I've just put 40 as an estimate.
Yes.
Electrical is
40. Oh, I saw that. somewhere.
Well, it's 144.
Oh, right there.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you might not have those ones, so
Oh,
that
no.
would
Town office.
Right. So no, I don't know.
you might not have that one in your pile, because John gave me that at the last select
Right, I
board
don't
meeting,
think we did.
and then I,
So you're not gonna consider this building at all for.
well, that's the total weatherization of 160.
So what is it total to? Are you over?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
You're way over.
So let me just pick up on my paperwork over here. Those are already on the approved,
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
those are already committed.
And this.
More than that.
Couple were dropped. Or withdrawn.
Yeah. So the rest of the list, you previously decided that you were not moving forward the town garage request because there was no information. The solar panels for the OPCC building because they did not give an actual requested dollar amount.
Mhm.
First Branch River access was pulled back by Michael. The agritourism opportunity was pulled back by Michael. The town forest infrastructure improvements for the spur trail, we are delaying because we can apply for the ANR, the Trails Grant, like we did this year for the other one. And then the land purchase for the for the Putnam's Meadow that the recreation group and the conservation committee both wanted is under contract or maybe even sold now, I don't know. So we pulled those ones back. So those ones we did not move forward. And then previously you had committed the owl, who's in working here tonight. The Soro ambulance at 25,000, the First Branch ambulance at 3750. The emergency center grant match at 12,500. The town Wi-Fi dream machine at 691.50. The grants manager position at 78,000 for the 3 years, and the brick scoping you previously had approved, but actually we learned that we can get the scoping through a different method. Or the match through a different method. So we started with 398,767. $767 and 31 cents. We currently have approved expenses of 120,916. And 71 cents. Leaving us with a remaining balance of 277. 277. 850 and 60 cents. And if I add the 40,000 in the electrical, and our requests currently on the board total 543,151.
Oh, close.
We're close.
Yeah.
543, 543,151.
Yep. So which ones had potential for grants?
The top one, the recreation one, but no, granted, they're all potential, right?
Yes.
So top one, the recreation one,
Mm.
the weatherization ones.
Yeah, town office weather.
So you don't have that as one of your columns though for deciding.
No,
You could just put a star next to them saying that.
Yeah.
They could be, yeah.
So
It
this
was,
one
it
has
was,
potential.
Leverage one was
it
sort of
was
like
one of
that.
our,
yeah.
it was one of our categories. It just was further down on people's priority list.
Okay, that one and
The two that are weatherization, so the town office weatherization. And then the town hall weatherization. The grid connected solar array, I need to look at the REAP. Or the other, there's another energy grant, I don't know. I've not looked at either of those, but that's a potential.
which one?
The grid solar,
Grid.
blue one.
for those, we're way over what we need, and if we got rid of those four.
Well, and so remember, almost every grant has a match, though, and that
Oh.
grant, that match is anywhere from 10% to 50%. So,
Like bridges.
So what about, this is an easy one to eliminate, right? Like, are there any of these that have potential future financial impact?
will continue to cost the town.
Will continue to cost the town?
We could just check them, I
Right.
guess. And then see, just even at a check or no
Yeah.
checks, right?
Yeah.
At a very simple level, we could do that.
The dental hub gonna,
That would definitely,
One time.
Or you
Or
could
not.
lower to 10,000 like South Wilton did.
Right. I would say,
And that, from what Jody said, that's a one-shot deal, right?
Yeah.
They just want it for this year to get going.
Yes, that's what they requested in their paperwork.
And potentially we could have it as a line item if we felt it was, a great success. Either
Right.
either as an
In
appropriation
the future, you
in
mean?
the future, right? Feel like, the sheriff's department and contract or whatever.
So that means it would have
Right.
future financial.
Right, it certainly comes with, to be successful, it's gonna cost money down the road.
You're just
We should-
across the top one at a
Should
time.
we change that to sort of like a one and done, so it's not the reverse like it is
Mhm.
now? The financial one, like if
Seems
if we
more of a
commit the money,
One-time fee.
right, it reaches a resolution, like this is the opposite, whereas the dental hub, I mean, we could do it one time, but it seems like what it really wants is baseline funding down the road to be
Which is-
successful.
Could have future financial.
Right,
I
but
thought I heard her say that it would be supported by Medicaid funds. So that the dental hub.
Once
it
they
got
get going.
started, She said that they will be billing individuals Medicaid. Or Medicare based on, so they bill once they get started as well.
Uh-huh.
During the same Tuesday.
You want a different title up here, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
assistant IT
Well,
person.
like-
Yeah,
So weatherization here and weatherization
cutting it on me,
here.
Marianne.
What's
I'm
that?
supposed to be
Right,
IT
we'll know next
guy.
with that
Oh,
is
are you?
tax savings. And that would, it's not
I was
just
trying
to
to
bring
fix
that up
it.
with check marks in lots of places. And it may be difficult to.
But like the ball field, I mean, I got nothing against the ball field, but it's not gonna benefit many.
Right,
Well, not in the same way, right?
Well,
Right.
no. Then,
and the health club might not either, I mean, if,
right, just, I don't know, it's up in the air for me.
Timber frame building,
that's.
We
not-
hope, but maybe not.
sidewalks.
It's like the town forest, like,
I have a question about sidewalks building.
Yeah.
We're already committed to that, yes?
Yes,
Like, so with it being up there, we take it off, we have to pay for it anyway, just
it's
depends.
gonna
on
come
how
out
we
of
take it.
general.
Out of ARPA, is that the deal that we're deciding on? Just.
We're
throwing
going to
it out
have,
there because
we're
I'm
going to
like,
have to pay that money.
But is there a difference, Becky, in the financials as to whether it came from an ARPA grant or came out of the general, or is it just Apple?
Well, so we don't necessarily have funded for that, like, we'd have to find the money for that. Cause I think when we committed to it, we were kind of thinking ARPA money would be used. So if we don't use ARPA money, then we have to find money
Added
elsewhere.
One half though is being paid by taxpayers.
already, you know,
What do you
I mean,
know?
one house paid by the grant
So it's grant funded, like there's
with a match.
a matching part of that 9,000 is the matching part. So what I'm just saying is if we don't pay it by ARPA, we have to find it in other funds.
We had sort of committed to it already,
Yeah.
it sounds like to me.
We're paying that one way or another.
Yeah, like I just,
And we don't have a line item in the budget. for it.
we don't, I mean, it's not that we can't. Well, I don't know how we're paying for that line at this point.
Okay.
I thought the ARPA part was a done deal, which is why I was like, oh, I don't.
Level 2 charging station, that benefit many.
Not at the moment.
Not now.
Land record digitization.
Yes, that would benefit everybody in town
Yeah,
in one
I mean,
way.
it's a safety thing too, it's.
right.
Building
exactly.
burns or whatever it's supposed to be.
Old Mountain Road, right of way survey,
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
grid connected solar array for town office. Less electric bills.
We hope.
Oh, definitely
Oh,
left.
yeah, less, I'll tell you.
That's a tax savings again. if it
Right.
hurts.
Yeah.
And that's a tax savings, right? And then if you were to go to a criterion that's not up there, but I think it was number 4 was climate change, obviously,
Yeah.
but it has to do with that.
Tunbridge Baptist
And the
Church,
weatherizations for
Yeah.
that.
town hall, electrical.
Yeah,
That would save on supposedly
Yeah.
electric bills if it's.
Or if we have to build a new one, because it runs down.
The wood burn it?
Well, hopefully it can get fixed. and won't-
Oh, okay, so
But I don't know how scary it is now.
it's a
but-
benefit
think-
many,
I think it's pretty scary.
The whole town,
Yeah.
but
okay.
That's my.
You don't like that octopus wire?
Hey, one time only cost. Meaning
Theoretically.
Like the-
the health
Theoretically.
club is.
theoretically, what about the ball field?
No, because you're gonna pay.
Electric, right,
We said that.
The
Right.
timber frame was one time.
Yeah,
Borrow my eraser.
You're-
Didn't have to wash up.
we could put the EV station at the pavilion so that it gets used by many.
We've actually had quite a few people up there already.
the timber frame, one time only,
Yes.
Mhm.
weatherization. One time only,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
basically.
To start saving
it's not-
money, yeah.
You're not gonna be putting, you don't have to have more matching money,
Right,
um,
scope would be one. I mean, it could
Yeah.
evolve into something else.
2-level charging be ones. Or. Do you get,
You have to pay for that?
yeah, you have, does town have to pay?
There are several ways of
Electricity
handling
that comes in
that.
it?
It can be owned by the town, it can be a partnership with another entity, and as far as what is charged. If the installer and the company is the vendor, in other words, we're just like a pass-through, they could make a profit. If the town decided to get involved and, you know, I don't want to get too much in the, some people actually make money off of this.
Right.
Now, even some towns do that. I'm not recommending that. So there's different ways of handling it.
But we should be able to do it without it costing us money then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the law school,
Well,
they're
maybe
not subsidizing people.
The law school is subsidizing people
They are.
and that's not,
It would be
those chargers are free.
once.
They're paying the bill.
Yeah,
Or
Well,
would there be,
You're
well,
asking,
so I think there would be other fees, but those other fees are paid for by what people pay to look at the land.
So forthcoming, once we get it all done now, in the future, it would be paid for as it went along.
Yeah, it should be. I think there's just a fee to get a company to come do it all. And then I think the way it would work is Mariah would just upload
Yeah,
the new ones to it.
till we get a whole new software program or module on that.
But you probably have a monthly fee for this, the cloud that it's living in,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I think when it goes up live, there'll be other fees, like things, but we also have our records. We have money set aside already to kind of take care of it once it's up there.
right. Okay.
I would put a check there.
That it's one time only.
I mean, you don't have to keep digitizing over and over. I mean,
That's the money just to get one there.
Once the old Mountain Road right of way survey is done, that's one time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solar array, one time,
One time.
Well, technically.
It can be added on to, but
Right.
one time is what it's.
yeah, Tunbridge Baptist Church.
Hopefully when there's any-
theoretically, those
they're
are
all pretty much one time.
Well, so you've got,
A question, does the Tunbridge Baptist Church grant say that it's going to 100% restore the building, or is it the beginning of restoring the building? $52,000.
Is that a town
Should
building?
be a
or
No.
nightmare.
It's a religious,
It's part religious and part historical society, but it's not in any way, shape or form a town building.
So who owns it?
I was wondering who owns that.
It's funky, I think.
It's a not-for-profit.
It's a historical society.
And the historical society, does the historical society own it?
No, I think it's some
I think
funky
so.
arrangement they have between the church and,
Yeah,
because David Wolf and Euclid didn't want to give up the church in the sake of the church and give it to the historical society.
Dude, who's that?
So it's still, they have to share it. So I think that's how.
you're gonna have to have another way to
It
word
doesn't
it.
really say in here. It just, they're also looking for other grants,
right.
So it,
so I would say this is not a one-time deal, I guess.
But they would only want that one amount of money from us.
From us, yeah,
But it's still a one-time deal. It's just, they'd have to look for other funding.
right,
antenna historical society fund matching grants further the work.
the problem is, it's like any old building that, once they get this done, they'll have to, 10 years later, do something more. That's-
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy.
It's kind of a low rider chair there.
Very.
I don't really
like-
care.
So we had 5 threes.
And then they're way over the amount you've got, so.
Yeah, oh, the two weatherizations.
Are huge.
Two weatherizations are would be the most important to me,
And they put you over anyways,
right?
344,000, if you add the electrical in.
But those have the potential for a lot of funding, grant funding.
For grant,
So,
some maybe.
Well, for the MERP, but if we
Yeah.
get it,
yeah, they weren't ranking us high in some areas of need.
So it's one building, this building at the town hall is one of them rated higher than the other.
mm-mm.
Well, when we were
Sorry,
looking
Ken.
at it, we thought this building, because it's active.
Yeah.
like 5 days a week. 4 days a week office and then
Correct.
additional stuff, it's. they're both important and they save us taxes. It's a fundamental where we start to do energy saving.
Right,
But
Now,
not
those-
the building puts us up any, it's because our rating is based on the town. So it doesn't matter if we chose
Right.
one building or both buildings or. which
As many
building
as
we
you
chose.
want, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That's not gonna change our rating.
Weird question about our process here. Are we deciding which ones have the highest? Which ones we would like to fund? And then we're gonna put in the grants and then see where we fall, and then some of the ones that get farther down might then come up in potential if. Like if Merck pays
Right.
for all the weatherization, that would open a lot more money, but if they don't pay for any of it. Then that's nothing.
Well, that's my thinking, if we got a bunch of money. Then we could go back to this and,
Somebody needs to take a picture of this.
Yeah.
yes,
On their phone.
I guess it's up to Mary Ann.
she's already got it down,
I've got it on my computer,
see,
but I can take a picture too.
Oh,
that's a backup. Get me out of the picture.
Yeah,
I got the ratings. You got the ratings already?
so the only issue with any of that is that it'll mean years, which may be completely fine to you, but. Like, we cannot apply for the MERP until January of 24 is when they estimate it will open. And then it'll be open probably till like April, they'll probably have a submission date of April. It'll take them at least 3 months to tell us if we were awarded, so. We wouldn't hear probably until late 24 if we got the MERP grants for the
But
weatherization.
we're not gonna get all this stuff done this year anyways. Right?
No.
Right, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna wait to make the decision on spending any of the money, then you're gonna be waiting
Until 25.
until 25 to do anything.
Yeah.
And we have to be committed
We don't have to be committed.
No.
ever,
it's-
right, because
it's
it's surplus
just
now.
Switch over.
Did we
Well,
made
you
it right
think-
there?
What's that?
We
I would
made it
think
with
we
our,
just
where we're at now.
Started on their
Yes.
weatherization things. and
Yeah.
What, the gist of what I got from what I just.
We
read
get a
through
market
was-
grant, and
Yes.
next year we
You
can
can use anything you
go
want,
back
except for
to,
pension.
Right.
Contribution. Extraordinary,
well, probably I'll
which is
do
not retirement.
Which is not.
Mariah's thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty important.
So if you,
We sort of have to do the sidewalk scoping too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that takes you down $30,000. Which is 200.
Sorry, so which one did you just decide on something?
They smell.
Oh,
10,000 probably.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you because I was talking about the, did you just decide on something that I should be moving to my committed tab?
Oh, I said we ought to get the help, something, like 10,000 or something, because,
So
What
you're
if-
gonna do 10,000 here.
What have the other towns done?
and, well,
Chelsea and Royalton?
one town did 10, I thought,
yeah,
And you wanted to
Right.
do the land record,
yeah,
yeah.
which
eight,
is,
Yeah,
can I call it 19 so it's easier to? I can't, you gotta have it. So this one. This one,
And the
Where'd you
scope,
come
the
up with
scoping
that?
one too. about-
the scope,
yeah, because we're committed.
Yeah.
But we could
have 277.
cough at it somewhere else, right?
Potentially.
737.
You're down to 239 left.
It sounded to me like this electrical was important. I don't know much about it, just listening to you guys, so.
it's just confusing, because, I mean, I don't know how dangerous it is, John, but it's confusing to have to go way up back to turn a front light on.
And given the public has access to it, if they
Right.
rent it.
It just seems like there might be a problem somewhere along the line.
Step on the back of the stage there, and that's not scare me.
Right?
But it's not nodding too.
Here.
No,
No, it's just been packed together over years.
in the building fund of $33,000.
added on, added on,
And
added on.
Yeah,
That be utilized.
Yeah, that's.
We've got 33,000 in the building fund.
or just fund balances in general?
And are you talking about the capital improvement?
Yeah, I'm looking at the fund balances
Yeah.
and from the town report.
But that, I mean, that could be used for the town office and the, weatherization or the town hall.
It's 33,000,
Right.
But it would almost cover.
Cover the electrical.
right?
Or just say the electrical was 7,000 less than we thought, so it's completely covered.
How did we pay for the pavilion?
The town forest committee paid for it out of our harvest.
Oh, okay.
There's 23,000.
And there's enough money there, if we had to swallow that, we'd still have money left over.
Yeah, we've got to make it last for another 20 years,
Yeah.
probably, what we have left over.
So the building fund could be this amount.
What's the building fund?
The 33.
You have in the,
In their capital.
Oh, right.
it's not,
There's a building, we have a fund,
it's a fund called building fund. Isn't it?
Oh, it's different.
That's capital improvement.
It's under capital. Okay. Then there's more under capital improvement than that, isn't it?
So there's two funds.
Are you doing the ball field right, or is that ball field like, or is that out? No,
I think it's out.
I think they have enough money.
Yeah,
they do.
I just
huge money.
want to tell you, you have $51,000 in years.
Yeah, it's gonna last about. It's gonna last a lot of years. That's the only thing.
But potentially we could, from the general fund, we could replenish it.
Over a lot of years,
Right.
or they could.
Help us pay for grass seed and stuff like that,
Right.
and culvert repair and.
And has Jimmy got done paying all of his stumpage and everything?
I think that's the final, what,
I think it is, he's done.
It looks like the charging station and the survey thing are out, right? They only got one.
I would say that.
I will continue to work on that through an alternative source, and maybe we could look, I don't know, you said you did look, and right now you didn't see any grants.
But I'm happy to, I mean, if you.
Yeah, I'll look into
Direction.
that, and we may have someone else in town.
Okay, well, Can you,
What's that?
$72.
What that's budgeted is for 2 connections at level 2, and it's just under 20,000.
there could be some leverage some of what the taxpayer could be putting away.
Put in some.
And they decided no.
To a cost and.
Either match something or.
Yeah, I wonder what level they're.
So, Karen,
I
Can you
think
slow
if
down? I
it's
need to
level
keep up.
two,
so
down to,
level 2 charging
down to
stations, if you decided not to fund,
charging station.
which other one did you just say you're not funding?
The public sites.
I got that one, there's another one.
Oh, okay.
And, survey.
I remember. In the electric ringers, one says 1, and then there's 2 that say 2.
They have a high speed. That's very expensive, over 100,000
Those 3, yes.
for that.
Can we erase the timber frame building?
In that.
Are we funding the timber frame building?
I think we'll fund it. If we have to with general fund.
You have to put the credit card in.
Do you want to use
Yeah.
the
Thank you.
capital improvement for this one?
No, we can't, it's not a town.
Oh, okay.
And it's already been paid for, really.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of how much their fund balance goes down.
Yeah.
It's already been paid for.
It is town, it does belong to the town,
But
but you're right, we do have some funds, we just have to be careful with them for that amount of time.
So is
We have one-time funds.
using ARPA money or
There's no-
taking it out? Okay.
There's no rule about general fund replenishing.
no,
You could do that.
we could, and.
But then you've got the big one, it gives the sidewalk we're keeping.
Yeah.
It's out, land records we're keeping. The next one was the solar array for the town office.
Yeah, I would argue strongly to consider that price in the future will probably go up,
Yeah.
hopefully not significantly. Go, just say you were saying something.
A question, so the cost of the solar versus the savings on the electricity? Where, so it, I'm not gonna get the numbers. This is an $18,000 cost, how much of the town do we pay each year in electrical costs? And how much would those be reduced by having the solar array?
Is that in the request anywhere?
Figure it out.
Well, I can pull up out of the town report
Right.
Is it on the paperwork anywhere for?
it is this size to do all town?
No, oh, no. No,
Let's accept
there,
that.
there was an effort previously to have a size that would handle all of the electricity for this building.
Just for this building?
Right. And this one is not enough. If there was a total power outage, you wouldn't be getting. It was sized to be sort of competitive in this process rather than,
Right.
but it's, as you know, if you said, well, how many panels would it take to do that? That probably in the same site, and the site has not been determined. You could add more panels in the future. Now, don't start saying it's not a one-time cost, because it's still. Another factor is, it seems pretty apparent, unless someone here knows for sure, that the big solar project on Belknap, I'm not sure that's happening.
Really?
I don't have a good feeling. It was supposed to break ground last year. I don't think
Nothing's
it's,
happening.
yeah, and that was gonna benefit the town.
Letter of support we're supposed to sign tonight
Oh, from them?
for that, but that doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Oh, I
Right.
thought you already gave them that.
We did.
A year.
I think that's what Mariah said.
There's a follow-up. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we did that already.
Yeah, Gary, it's in that packet, some
Yeah.
that says things that need to be signed.
Things that need to be signed.
I think it's right here, this back.
Another argument I would make about even just getting started with a solar array, is I think some of these future grants, maybe even the weatherization grant, if the town has shown that it's actually proactively done something as far as climate change, whether it's for transportation or weatherization, that the chances of leveraging some of those grants go up.
Yeah.
Rather than, well, we've never done anything, but please give us 100,000. I mean, that's kind of an
I
abstract.
think you're right.
Thank you, Betsy. Another favorite, Betsy.
I think this, I think this,
It reduces taxes.
I'll tell you.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
it's paid off, you're reducing taxes by the amount of our current.
yeah. I mean, our little, how many panels did we put out?
Yeah.
On the garage, 6? How many panels? 9?
9, 8,
Well,
20,
I don't know, but
20.
our electric bill went from like $150 to $25 a month, so. I'm pretty
One
impressed
side of
with
our
solar.
garage
Of course,
covered.
we're in West Tunbridge and get a lot of sun.
One of the highlights of this.
When they're not like to be.
On the beach.
I said that we can add on to ours. if that wasn't too long.
Yeah. and-
If you decide to be electrical, are you funding it through a
Probably
different?
a
fund?
fixed kilowatts, sounds like,
So
man,
the solar,
of the panel.
heat, the electrical, you do through the.
Here's the true stack.
They're normally about 300 watts per panel. Is what the output is. So however, I thought if you said you had 20, that would be 6 kilowatts.
This is
6,000.
gonna be capital improvement.
Yeah.
Out of the 70s. Some odd thousand.
72.
Okay, so that's taken care of. The Baptist church. And the 2 weatherizations are the ones that are not, anything's been decided about.
Wait, what did you decide with the solar array? Yes or no?
I said yes.
Wait, you're not on the select board.
To the board.
Taking over.
Sounded all positive to me, so I circled.
What did the select board decide?
Yes,
I wonder, would that be considered capital improvement money if we spent some of that 72,000 on that? Because it is for this building.
Now, capital improvement money, when the fund was made, unless you guys changed.
Yeah.
The fund, right now, it can only be used on town buildings and really only this building and town hall. Is what,
But if you
why
solar
is
array,
the solar array considered,
this building,
it would be put on the building?
No.
Oh, it's on the ground,
okay,
oh,
I mean, I'm not saying that you guys can't go in and say, we want to change
right,
the purpose of this fund. I think
It was
it's
meant for-
doable if you want to do it, but just as it stands right now.
Right.
We would have to do that before you could do that. That's why we had to make a whole new fund for the highway building.
Right.
So it makes sense to keep it in this, I guess. So are the circled ones kind of committed at the moment?
Yeah.
If I leave this, am I circling that or not? I mean, that
It
was
seems
the
like it'd be a
question.
benefit.
The select board had to decide.
I say yes,
Yeah,
for now anyway.
So you've got 10, 20, almost 60,000, 50, 255. and 55. So you've got
220.
220 left. So you could do weatherization of the. And work on. grants.
is there any way that those can be phased, in phases, that we could do a phase 1 or a phase 1 and 2,
Windows
but not
first,
through?
it could be,
Right.
yeah.
Interestingly, they're not saying Windows first.
No, in
Yeah.
general, that's,
Bang for your buck.
Insulation up there is probably first.
I know, actually, I think the basement.
Probably.
And he said, try not to do it piecemeal.
Yeah,
If you're gonna, because you're gonna have to disrupt the whole building
Yeah.
each time, you're gonna have to move the offices out.
but we could wait and apply for MERP and see if other weatherization grants are available.
Well, could we do this building and then apply for Merck over there?
Yeah,
Cause that like,
And we could
that's
do,
about 2 years out.
and we could do that piecemeal over there because there's not people in there all the time.
Yeah.
So let's do this building first, circle the town office. For now, what are you? See there.
you're down to $76,000.
Left,
Really?
Yeah.
Cool beans.
And then put the town hall weatherization on hold, I guess.
Or partially
We
funded.
could
as
do
well.
Right.
electrical.
Right, but that's out of
The
capital.
electrical, you,
That's what we're doing already.
the Baptist church, you could give them some money if you wanted to.
or we could just do part of town hall.
Right.
Do the windows or something, George was,
Well, I think, I've always heard the windows aren't bad, as long as you don't leave one open, they aren't that important, but.
Right.
Upstairs and downstairs, looking up the hole,
Yeah, the downstairs, it doesn't have any insulation in areas around the sill.
right? Well, it's cold in there.
I mean, I'm sure some of this has changed because these quotes are from last, like September, but
from George.
basement was 24,000, first floor was 62,000, attic was 30,000, windows were 34,000.
Yeah, do basically.
You could do the attic in the basement and
Right. Yes, that's right, I agree. Let's do that.
So how much would that be?
I don't,
54.
yours anyway.
Okay.
Let me add that over here.
The things, if you get this building done, you could start talk about mini splits for air conditioning and heating as an option. Right now, it's not worth it.
Right,
We're just be blowing
right.
money right out the.
they're very inefficient, yeah.
That brings you down to 22,000.
Left. For the town hall. Or after you.
After I
advertise.
did those two.
Could we then
But
get-
you did.
10,
decided not to.
144. And what did you add here? Page 277, yep, gotcha, yep.
Being that would be a very helpful
Right.
program
We
for
could give them 32,000.
the community, I mean, or just, I think they wanted 50, so. Yeah, if we give them,
Give them 32.
22.
Or half.
No, we already,
Right,
are
25.
we already in
Good.
for 10?
You're already in for 10. What do you
And we
want?
had
to
22 left over.
Mhm.
Well, then that makes
For
sense.
who? The hub?
So some of these projects might run over though.
Right.
Remember, this
I
is
would
all
keep
just
some.
guesses. These were people's best
You want to do
guesses.
half the health hub, 25,
Yeah,
and then keep the rest as
yeah.
overage. Yeah, I'm sure it'll all be over.
So that leaves you with only 7,000 left. You do 25.
For, and that's for
What?
inflation, right?
It is.
That's for inflation, that's for bad guesses, that's for
Yeah.
old coats from George White before prices went up.
All right.
Marion, how much was the co-pay, the match,
For,
the insulation, coming up insulation grant? That had a match, so that,
yeah,
and it could be sizable with that cost, so wouldn't hurt to keep some money aside.
doesn't say on that flyer, I'll have to look. I'm sure it's in my PowerPoint.
But like she said, a lot of these have
20,000
matching,
usually.
including that brick grant. We could do it in kind on some of them, but they all require, most of them require some kind of match. It's 10,000 here, 25,000 there. Sizable.
So should we save more money out then?
It makes me nervous not saving any money,
Yeah.
knowing that all of these were just submitted from people who
Right.
gave their
Right.
best guess at the time that they filled out a piece of
A
paper.
year ago.
Should we save 50,000 then?
Mhm.
But then we have to start cutting these back.
Or you could go back down to the house hub, you could.
But I think with MERP potentially coming.
Well, you
for
have
like the town
another
hall,
30,000 in capital improvement that could go towards town office weatherization if you needed it.
Yep.
I mean,
Or,
you got
you know,
that,
Or general fund money down the road that bridges the gap.
Right. Yeah, because we aren't gonna do any of this work before next year.
Right.
So if we had a
And
surplus,
some grants might come in and actually save
yeah,
some of this. money.
but still we ought to save some of this.
Right, well, how much were we saving? 7,000 or something?
Right, if you do the 25 to the health
Yeah.
hub and you didn't fund the church, right?
Right.
The church, I think, like one like that, I think if they got a grant that said needed matching, like we potentially could help them there, but it'd be nice if they
Right,
showed some.
Yeah.
Some momentum.
And
yeah,
they say they're searching for the grants. but-
Right.
Yeah, and I did talk to Izzy because I gave him the Preservation and Trust of Vermont might be one to look at. And the
Right.
state historic preservation grants are options.
and
And then there's some
furnace
that are very specific to religious buildings as well.
Oh.
So I think they've got some things they can look at for,
Okay,
but
good.
there's probably gonna be a match on all of them.
Right.
Okay, so we're not funding that one, but we would consider funding a match if they're able to identify grants.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, and you want to leave the health hub at 25,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so that leaves you 7,000 in the ARPA, 7,199.60 in the ARPA, and that leaves what, like roughly 40,000 in the
30.
capital improvement.
32, something like that.
33.
And I think something like the town hall weatherization could almost be our safety money if we needed it for something else.
right,
Because,
yeah, because we could cut back somehow there,
right, or we might get a MERP grant in
right,
a year and a half.
yeah, exactly, it's still just one bunch of money, so.
Right.
Now, for just wondering about, so the town office weatherization, go ahead, it's all circular there. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea. So with that amount of money, you, basically, that's kind of based on one contractor's estimate, right?
Mhm.
Would you be required to get like 2 or 3 bids on something like that? Or is that just a,
Yeah.
yeah,
especially
okay,
that big a number.
because that,
Yeah,
they all might go up, or someone might come in, it seems reputable and be less than that.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think she said that too, when we went into money like this, just use your town policy of how you bid things out, which
Right.
gotta be multiple bids,
Yeah,
Well, I would have to use the town procurement plan,
yes.
which states that. We did it out.
Is there an amount that triggers the procurement plan to that policy to go into effect?
It's like $3,000 or
So
something.
anything over $3,000 has to be put out to public bid?
I'm not sure without looking at it. I don't know.
But I think it was like 3,000 or something like that, unless it's a single source vendor or something.
Yeah,
I mean, and this wouldn't be something like this, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think definitely we would, I think even if we didn't have that as our policy, we'd want to bid it out just to see
Right.
what's available.
Yeah.
Someone might take pity on us.
Be
That's a
nice.
good deal. Can we pause this then and move to the auditors?
I think we're done, aren't we? Enough?
Yep, yeah, so I just, we won't take any action on some of these until we meet again, like.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna know, who is someone supposed to contact?
Stay for the Dulster.
And is it me?
Oh,
you,
no, things are really gonna pick up.
Contacting him and telling him, we made the decision to fund it only at 25,000.
That's my two.
RAA could do that.
Hey, thanks for that. Was a good idea.
But so I asked some other questions like that, so do we wanna just like have this on topic for the next?
We don't
meeting?
mind.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Go
good.
through my questions of how to move forward
Yep.
with these,
Yep.
okay. Are you throwing some money in to help with the weatherization?
He is.
Anybody know
It's
that?
matching funds.
management funds.
And I do need some grant times, but it sounds like you're moving to something else on the agenda.
Just so that the listers can go home.
Okay.
All right,
The
auditors, I mean, sorry. But you need something more of us tonight.
Yes,
Is it quick?
I need lots of signatures.
Okay. Well, I can sign.
You can sign while you're. Still is.
You talking sign.
Okay, I'll tell you what you're signing. The Green Up Day grant.
Oh, that's nothing. Do that.
For Molly. It's for Molly.
$400.
This is the annual financial plan for the town highways grants that we always have to do. I think I need all three of you to sign that one. You can see it if you want to. do it. Becky helped me fill it out, so I'm pretty sure it's right.
I hope.
That's the top sheet to that if you.
$1.2 million.
Do my best.
105.
ability. Do we need to want to be balanced?
No,
Okay, good.
Supposed to sign, yeah.
No,
No.
just for information.
We don't require all of.
this is the one that you have to sign saying that we intend to take our fiscal 24 grants and aid. $24,000.
What's that mean?
That's just the typical highway.
Oh,
grant and
okay.
aid one. We
I
I
always-
think it's pretty you want that.
First, we have to sign that saying, yes, we want our allotment, and then they actually send us this contract to get our allotment. And then this one is to certify that we are in compliance with the town road and bridges standards. There's the three of you to sign that one.
Of course we are.
What happened to our Zoom? Why does it look different than it normally does?
It's just.
Mary Ann.
downsized.
Yeah. I haven't gotten my certification as an IS
Right.
person yet. And then as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the other thing I was gonna tell you is that the large grant that I was looking into, the core acronym NBRS or whatever it was, it does not look like the things that we were looking to use it for will apply because it has to create jobs,
Economic development.
economic development opportunities. So none of the options that we were looking at qualified,
Except the laundromat.
except for the laundromat.
Yeah, all
Water map.
All right, I think that's everything for me.
right, thank you very much.
Mary.
That went smoothly.
I could retire from farm all fix, run the laundromat
There you go.
Good.
and the D station. I could,
Right.
plug cards.
And then there's a position at Farm All Fits. Create a job there.
Yeah, I can see you holding out the back, you don't have one arm bandit, are you, out back?
And a creamy.
There you go.
I can be out front.
Free greens?
At the laundry.
No, you don't.
It's a long one.
There you go.
Really?
Actually, I have to,
Good. How did you get two?
yeah, some random thing we bought one.
There you were.
Do you know anything about the Saunders grant?
They could.
USDA with the Saunders?
I don't.
The right mechanic came along.
Yes.
For
And they're international creaming machines.
Yeah.
You know, is it an international creaming machine?
I did got one for down
We're looking
in the
at
sugar
it.
house when they first started.
Yeah.
Started a
And
request
then
in a couple of
Kind
years
of
ago.
crapped
so
out.
You took it.
They bought new ones and stuff.
she was
And
saying,
so he
I think
asked me if
comes
I
to
wanted
USDA.
it. And I said, yeah. And
I can take a look at it,
And,
see what I find out about it.
so a buddy of mine
I don't know if it's
bought it
anything to help
for
you
it
or
and
not.
got all. You get it running.
Nice
It's
to see
unlocked.
it's out there.
We used it at the name's wedding.
Apparently.
Figuring out
Uh-huh.
what makes sense for us.
Yeah.
Creamies and things.
Because it reside at the shops or in West Tunbridge.
Thank you very much. All right,
West Tunbridge.
break up the chit chat. We gotta move on.
Yeah, we're women there. We want to go home.
Auditors. At 7:30. We're pretty close. Are you the head auditor now, Betsy, or Nissa?
Because you got me sitting over here.
You can
So,
sit over here in this big chair.
do you, have a copy of this? The
Okay.
report, the auditor's report?
Review.
I saw a copy of the draft.
Yeah, do you have it with you?
No,
Well, I guess we might as well wait till next time because,
can't you just give us the highlights?
no. I
We
want
we
you
have to
looking
read
at
it.
it.
Okay. Mariah, can you get us copies?
I can-
For next meeting, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Seriously?
Well,
You just have a copy of the letter that
This, the one that, yeah,
highlights.
that
all
has all the deficiencies
I
in it.
I can just print that.
Okay,
One second, photocopy mine.
yeah, because I've got writing on mine.
Mine, yeah, you can print it without my. notes.
Because you need to respond to this. So I don't know how you, well, yeah, I've looked at it too, but do you remember it?
Is
Pretty
it
much.
this thing?
You do?
This thing?
No.
Oh.
What's that say?
Manual journaling entry documentation approval policy.
That's Becky's thing.
Oh.
Right, so I know that previously on your agenda, you've had some, I've noticed that Becky's put forth some policies. When we met as a small group, I found with the Vermont League of Cities and Towns, a number of the sample policies that would address the deficiencies that they found in the audit. It's a matter of, as a select board, you all taking a look whether Mariah pulls those for you and puts them in front of you at those model policies and making them fit for our community. So that when future audits happen, these deficiencies are not found.
That your recommendations.
Right.
So that's up to us and not you.
Well, you're the policy making board for our
Yeah.
community, so. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, just trying to be clear.
All right, so in the report, they had two deficiencies. One was authorization of general journal entries, which Becky is, that we do with Becky, that's going to be initiated,
Policy that you guys should sign tonight.
yes.
Okay,
And then the other deficiency was accounting and procedure manuals for town personnel. Specifically thinking of town treasurer. But they're also procedures manuals for auditors, town clerk, listers, and collector of delinquent taxes. Do you want those done? Because they said an accounting procedure manual should be in place, and this manual should define duties and responsibilities for current personnel so as to prevent or reduce misunderstandings, errors, efficiencies, etc. A good accounting manual should aid in the training of new employees and possibly allow for delegation to other employees.
Is
So,
that something they furnish or something we have? to come up
no. No, we would be putting together really
with?
a very
It's
detailed
a
job description.
Right,
But, so this is something that I'm working on, because it should come from me, it should come from my procedures that I am currently doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's already in the works to be done. I'm already working on.
So you're addressing what Betsy just said then.
Yes, Becky's doing that.
Those
Yeah.
two that are. that
Those
were-
first two deficiencies, Becky is been spending time on already.
Yeah.
And we will be, you know, obviously doing the journal entry stuff that was.
Mhm.
The other recommendations were weekly payroll. And as auditors, we thought that that made sense to go to bi-weekly. But Becky presented to me that it really isn't much of a savings to go bi-weekly, and people are depending on weekly checks.
How much of an
Employees.
issue with that to our auditing firm? Was it like huge or was it just something they do?
It just says the town could save time and money if they switch to bi-weekly or semi-monthly method. We recommend considering switching to a different frequency of paying employees to save time and money.
So. If we paid a lot of employees, that would make a lot of sense. But we pay on average between 9 and 10 people a week. So it's about an hour of my time. I don't think it's gonna, you know, if I had 150 people. and I
If you
took
do it every
4
other,
days,
if you do it every other week, it's gonna be 2 hours at a time.
Pretty much, so.
Why does the time double if it takes, you know, I think about our own admin assistant at my job. She does payroll on Fridays, it can take her an hour, it can take her 2 hours, it's every other week. It wouldn't go in half if she did it once a week.
But I don't understand. how they-
It's not necessarily gonna double your time to do it once every 2 weeks, rather than each week. It's taking 4 hours a month. It isn't necessarily gonna take 4 hours a month to cut the check twice.
Right.
Instead of 4 times. It's an efficiency. And that's why I think the auditing company was suggesting that. It's an efficiency.
But then again, if it's an efficiency that saves you a penny or $1, there's a difference there, or $100. And how much is it gonna save?
I don't see a huge savings.
I mean, I guess how much is it costing us? Not necessarily how much is it saving us.
I mean,
It probably doesn't cost us that much for Becky to work an hour to do payroll,
Well, if it's an hour a week and you're cutting that in half,
times 52, yeah.
okay, we're saving 26 hours a week.
Yeah.
That is.
A year.
Yeah. You know, we just hired an additional treasurer to
26 hours a year, but I'm still working those 26 hours. I mean, it's gonna be something different.
Well, I guess how important is it to the auditing firm that we do that? Or is it?
I think it's a recommendation. That's all it is a recommendation.
So
As a way to save some money if the town wants to do that.
Well, I think we ought to leave it alone if everybody's used to.
They like them.
Well, especially-
weekly.
Becky wants to stay that way.
I think it would make more grumpy highway people, not that we have to,
Mhm.
kowtow to them, but I do think they will be quite grumpy about it, and I don't, if I thought like I was, gonna save a ton of time and a ton of money, I would be like, sure, let's do it. But for the small payroll that we have, I don't think it was a huge amount. I think it's something they suggest to everyone.
Yeah.
That's my own personal thing. They're done being printed. I did 4 copies.
Well, and as far as you know, everybody likes to get the weekly paycheck.
Everybody likes their weekly paycheck.
Thank you.
That's the big thing, I think.
It's different when you go from a week to 2 weeks.
What's the fourth one you want?
Okay, 2 weeks.
Huh?
You want
I just
And
printed it for whoever
a
wanted.
month to get my act.
You want one?
And, choose that. It's different.
No picture.
No picture.
So I'm on page, the top says fraud policy. We have one, but there isn't any dates or signatures on it. And Becky, you had that and gave me a copy, and I don't seem to have a copy right now, and it isn't in the policy notebook. So that's in the other room.
You know.
So should we just?
I can't find it. I don't
Review
know.
the one we got.
Yeah, I think so. That will be one that you would. So like. Anissa said, there's several policies in here that they're recommending that we kind of. Some you've already got. I think maybe, 2 a month you look at and say, okay, let's adopt this one and that kind of thing. Not right away, not all of them, just managing it.
Before next year, then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what the fraud risk assessment is. Were you ever able to find that out, Becky?
So she was gonna talk to Rick and get back to me, and I have
Yeah.
not heard back.
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
But
Then-
I think our.
We have a fraud prevention policy. You guys have a fraud prevention policy.
Hmm,
Yeah, this is the one that's not signed.
Yeah,
Yeah. I have no idea when it was. You do have a fraud prevention.
all right, we can
But
sign
it-
it.
Yeah, you can look at it sometime. So, the fraud risk assessment is just to reduce the possibility of fraudulent activities, and that's something. I think that that's part of the next one, the documentation of internal control questionnaire, documentation of internal control system. And in the back of our auditing handbook, there is the internal control questionnaire.
I think we fill that out every year for our insurance company too.
Really? Who does that?
Mariah does.
Oh. There's only a couple things on here that we. Anyways. Just saying we've got it.
Yep.
It's not bad. It's pretty well.
Some stuff like
Yeah,
our whole email situation would fall under some of these, right? for
Yeah.
fraud.
Investment banking policy, you have one. It was signed in 2009.
Says here we don't have them.
Formal one.
Well, you do have one, and it's in the book in the other room, so.
Well, I guess they're wrong.
And is it,
I'm not saying it's up to date, you guys. 2009 is quite a while ago. So, the,
so it's there,
yeah, the state has guidance for that, and then they have a sample one in their website.
Maybe we gotta update it then.
So, yes, so we're thinking that's one that you would look
14
at,
years ago.
yeah, you would look at these and say, these are some revisions or whatever.
Right.
I really only do a couple of months. I mean, I really wouldn't
That's
worry
okay.
about doing all of these. Incomplete accounting system, and that was needing to add the trustee of public funds accounts to the general ledger.
It is in the
And
process right now.
It's in the process,
All right, good.
so that's under control.
Jen and I have been working on that.
Yep. Education billing fee retained.
So I asked them about this. Essentially, they just want us to put it into our budget. It's money we retain when we collect taxes. It's in the amount that in the state's amount that they give us that we have to collect. There's this amount that we retained. We've always retained it. It's just not under that. So we'll just put it in our budget going forward.
Was it in a different line item?
Right.
So you mean it just comes in and goes out?
No, it's
Well,
always.
no, so essentially, when I looked into this, I can see in the Chelsea town report. The other half of First Branch, that the town of Chelsea receives $4,000 a year for collecting their portion of First
Oh,
Branch
okay.
taxes.
Yep.
And then passing it on to First Branch.
Mhm.
We should be doing the same, or have it at least reflected, if we're already doing it.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
We should be, and it's tricky because we're all taxpayers, right?
Right.
Our tax bill's our tax bill, but if we don't do that as a town, we're essentially
Right.
reducing Chelsea's taxes.
So we're already collecting it, it's just that we don't budget for it.
Right.
It's
Not a line item.
it's not, I mean, it is one of our line items, I've just never put it in the budget, but essentially we collect it automatically. It's built in as the school tax rate, it's built into that. And then I just have never pulled it out of what we collect and put it in its own line item, but we can do that going forward.
All right, we will.
Procurement policy. It says here the procurement policy has not been updated to comply with the uniform guidance. You do have a procurement policy that was signed December 22. So I guess it's a matter of evaluating that.
Or
I think
figuring
that-
out what uniform guidance is.
So the uniform guidance criteria are on the next page. It talks
Yeah.
about conflict of interest, it talks about financial management. Cash management, and that's not perfect because we're not gonna have a cash register here in our town office to.
Mhm.
You can see the list there on the bottom of the page, or at the top of page 7.
Yeah.
You have a conflict of interest policy. The words uniform guidance policy is a little confusing to me because when you go on the website, they have sample policies. And then they have what they call uniform guidance. Policy guides. Policy guidance for each of them. So I'm not exactly sure.
Where's this
what they're-
coming from too? VLCT or the state?
VLCT, there, that's the source of. looking at
Well,
this.
that's what we're looking at is VLCT.
Right,
Okay, yeah.
of sample policies.
Okay.
and Ordinances.
The compensation policies are all in the employees handbook. There isn't any relocation costs of employees policies in that. The travel cost policy and mileage is something that Becky wants to
Yeah.
bring up with you. And needs to be clarified a little bit more
The
for
town person
everybody
came
in the
up with it.
town,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if you're taking your own pickup to go pick up.
Right.
So,
Charge so many cents a mile or whatever for usage or whatever.
yeah,
How much cents a mile, where do you want to start?
Right.
and where does it start and, yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Mhm.
So. Cash receipts module. That's,
I have an appointment with Chip on Thursday.
yep, that's all getting set up. Cash register, we didn't see any reason for a cash register.
NA.
That's what I put. Budgeting for penalty remittance on delinquent taxes. We don't know how you would budget for that.
Right. Well, you could just throw it
So-
out there,
You guys could if you want to, but
be random.
Well, you could take, if you knew what it was in the past decade, you could just do an average, right?
Right,
yeah.
it's just a
past couple
number,
years, yeah.
Right,
so we can do
that'd
that.
probably be pretty close.
I mean, you put in an amount,
It's not like we're not allowed to do that, though, to put in a number, the way
no,
we are not allowed to. Put in
Yeah.
a delinquent tax.
yeah. That's just, it's like what he would be making for the year,
Right,
the penalties.
Yeah.
we could do that.
And then the trustees of public funds, expendable, and non-expendable fund business, that is something you need to have a meeting with them.
Do you budget for penalty on delinquent taxes? Not a lot. I think we budget like $3,000.
Yeah.
We're,
Really?
yeah,
Ah.
we keep it low because I don't know how much,
Right,
I don't know how
I
much.
wouldn't
we
say-
collect.
I don't remember budgeting anything.
Yeah, so we always.
You put something in there.
$5,000 in trust and $3,000 in penalty.
Oh, yeah,
We're already doing it.
it's news to me.
Boy, that's all.
Well, you gotta probably have to read this, yeah.
So I think that last time. This was sent back to them. With some response after each one of these in a different print,
So
color print or
I've
something.
already sent the response letter because I drafted it and I sent it to you guys and asked you what you guys thought of it.
That was for the deficiencies,
Yes.
but
that's
not the
all they
recommendations.
wanted.
That's all they wanted.
That's all
Okay,
they wanted because I asked her,
okay,
because I then sent her back. I drafted that letter, I wrote it, I sent it to her. And then I went, oh wait, maybe you need a lot more than that. And she's like, the only ones I care about are the first two.
So how about if we make sure Mariah has a list of the different policies that were mentioned,
Yes,
and then she can figure out when to put them through
yeah.
your
yeah,
meetings,
Update.
your meetings, updates or.
Right.
new ones.
I mean,
That's
it's just-
fine. Do you want to give them to me now, or do you want to email me the list, or what do you want to do?
I'm tired, I want to email you the
Email them
list.
to you
I
right
love
now.
it. Okay,
Well, actually, Anissa can email it to you right now.
perfect.
Is it similar to this?
I have 4, yeah.
You have 4? Oh, heck. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
Okay.
11, 12, 13, but some of these you already have, they already have. I've got the 13, I've got the policies they're recommending and the ones you already have in the policy book. So I think it's a matter of just looking at the dates on some of those and seeing. But there were 4 main ones, right? Okay.
I don't, but I can easily give it.
I don't know what a drawdowns policy is. I can't find that anywhere, so
I'll remind you.
It's because that's why that.
I decided it can't be that important if it doesn't have it.
It's not important.
Not familiar. Okay. Sounds like everything's all covered.
Thank you, that was very efficient. You just started it, all you got done earlier. If the other stuff hadn't gotten away. But that was good too.
That's interesting to me, so.
All right, looking at a driver.
Yes.
As always. It's always- that's why.
It's that time here.
Better get home.
Mine are ready to slam shut.
Yeah. Really?
Hey, were we last? Are you all done now?
No, not even halfway through.
Are
The
you
rest of it will
kidding?
go quick.
Better
It's gonna go quick.
postpone things or go fast. What's this treasurer draft policy?
What Becky wants us to sign. We can do that quick. We can do that quick.
Helps us, yes.
Do we sign it, Becky? Do you explain it to us?
Sign that
Unless you guys don't like that.
other business,
We love it.
I love it.
sign the orders, read the minutes.
Foregoing.
We'll be out of here now.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Break the trail.
Lazy trip.
I made up my mind, I'm going around the river or. over. Get that.
Right over the legal trail and get there.
Did they dump stuff on dugout on one?
Yeah. After,
Finally.
after Easter.
61 people at Easter at our house.
Oh, my God.
2 of them weren't walking that.
And only half were invited.
Oh, no, they were all-
They all were invited.
Included.
I was gonna crash, but it looked a little rowdy to me.
They had a, I call it a taco slap, but it was a tortilla slap.
Oh, yeah, that's the big thing now. Well,
Is
that
it?
can get pretty feisty though.
Yeah, there are a couple of girls that were like, they were having so much
All
fun
out, yeah.
spraying each other's faces. Trying to get them to spurt, you put a whole bunch of water in your mouth
Yeah,
and you try and get the other person to lose the water in their mouth by slapping their face with a.
Tortilla.
what, chicken?
Why, Jesus.
No.
Frozen chicken.
The tortilla?
Yeah, yeah,
Gonna say, I can't.
around tortilla.
Hey, Mariah,
I used to say, yeah, teenage boys were
I don't know. if
taking it too far.
Then we had one where they took turns filling a one glass and they could pour water in it, and then whoever poured water in and it actually went over the top, they lost. I can't believe how many times they put drips of water in that thing and it still didn't fall over
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Didn't break the
I
super
laughed
fast.
like hell. One guy said, "Oh, if I put a lot of water in it, it won't come back to me." 5 times it went around to him. It comes around in a
Really?
circle 5 times. How's that work?
Bye.
thank you.
How good.
See you, David.
So what's your policy today?
It's just the draft policy. It's now official. You guys can choose one of them and then you can all sign it. And then I'll sign it and then it'll be
There's more than
set in
one.
stone.
We each have one.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay,
each have one. It's the one to, I mean, yeah, you can sign any of them,
there's the one.
but there's a pile that says needs signatures and it's in there too.
and a date, and then it will go into effectiveness.
This was recommended by.
This was something they said that we needed to
Have to
have.
have already.
And
Who's
then-
making a motion?
Or make a motion that we accept the town of Tunbridge manual journey entry documentation and approval policy.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
All right,
Oak Island's coming up soon. She has to go.
Oh, I get it.
we're
So I'm
trying,
gonna sign this one right here.
just you or all of us.
I'm gonna sign just for me.
Mariah,
Yeah,
stop over next Saturday. We're gonna have a tortilla slap over my house.
I'll slap the shit out of you, Mike, with a tortilla.
Sounds
You guys having
like a
fun?
threat.
Right about the page.
Down here. You might get all the water in his cheeks coming your way, though.
At a high rate.
All right, that's done.
Treasurer policy.
This limp thing, letter of support.
Yes, lemp. The lemp packet is in that thing, the little pile that says need signature. So there's not really a
Oh.
signature space for it, but if you guys want to sign on the last page. It's not in your packet. It's in the pile that says need
Okay.
signature.
Limp.
It's the thick one.
It must be staple.
Yeah, okay.
Mm,
Local emergency management plan. Maybe that's what limp stands.
I
for.
bet.
Correct. Yes.
All right, looks pretty efficient.
We all sign it?
Yep, Brenda's
Yeah.
making it.
On the very back page.
Somebody needs to
Sure.
sign it.
Okay.
She was trying to stay there for it, but
Does that seem right?
You just want to sign on the bottom?
Yeah, there's not like a signature space, but it needs to be signed. So yeah, on the bottom's fine.
I'll even date it. Woo.
At no extra charge.
warnings and such.
Oh my God.
Alrighty.
And the signing.
Town Hall, Janet Zug.
Is Janet not gonna show up or do you know?
I guess not. Yeah, she must have forgotten.
Okay,
We like that.
And then budgets for you guys to look at.
oh. Profit losses. Thank you.
I know like that.
Thank you for looking up the minutes that we did have. How about the noise ordinance?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
were you gonna get back to Nancy Howe?
I wrote her an email.
I did
briefly,
too.
Okay,
But I can also tell her this, because Mariah found that they were actually 3 times.
It was mentioned. in minutes.
It was mentioned in the minutes back August 10th, 21,
yes,
September 14th, 21, and
Yeah,
November
'cause I-
21.
I was saying it a couple of years ago when we started. on
Right,
it.
so we didn't, I think she just looked up recently
Right.
Yeah.
in the last 6 months or
Yeah.
something. But I suppose we should have mentioned it like 2 weeks ago or
Did,
4 weeks ago.
Well, I think it's fine. We're
did
gonna
we
start-
find, did we find
can-
the minutes that she said weren't on there?
Yeah, they were on this computer that I have here at home, so I'm gonna email and Jeff and have him put them on. But for her knowledge and for your knowledge, as long as we have some sort of something on there, like the video counts as the minutes.
Oh, really?
So that was on there, and so that counts.
Okay, just, she mentioned it, so I thought we oughta,
But yes, no, it's, I emailed myself, it was on this computer.
So I can find them then on when you post them.
Yeah, once I post them, I'll send you an email. It should be by the end of the week when
Right.
Jeff gets to it. Yeah,
The minutes that I edited from last time, where do you want me to leave them in the blue file?
yeah, just leave them here and then I'll
Okay.
update them. Yep. So you have so you signed the LEMP. There's also that inclusion initiative. If you guys wanted to adopt that, that's in the pile of need signatures. There is a letter from the Vermont Land Trust that requires a signature of Gary's that needs to be sent as required by the state of Vermont. There is a letter to that the Conservation Commission wants you to just approve for them to send to the state about an invasive species. And there's also a letter of support for the South Royalton Rescue Project. So all of those things need signatures that you are supporting. And that's in that pile of need signatures, which is in front of you.
Yep. I only see 3 of them now.
Which, oh, the Conservation Commission one, that's in your packets, because it doesn't require a signature. They just wanted you to look it over and approve for them to send it.
Oh, okay. So do you guys want me to, do you want to make a motion that we sign this declaration of inclusion?
Sure. Or we can wait till next time, whichever way. I mean, it's, I asked the guy from Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
the rep, and he said, yeah, we did it the first night. You know, they
Right.
brought it in, we said, fine, and
Yeah.
they said it's pretty vanilla. It's a
Right,
good thing, but it's hardly controversial.
right. I just always wonder about the unintended consequences, and I couldn't really think of an unintended consequence of this.
Yeah, I think it's been out there long
I mean,
enough.
I personally think it's a little bit silly that we have to have a document saying we're gonna be inclusive. 'Cause
Well,
we ought to be
no.
inclusive.
The only thing that bothers me about that, this don't bother me, because it's just words.
Yeah.
But then he went on and say, well, Vermont's 97% white, well. There's no signs up that says
Right,
it has to be. I mean, I don't know,
Right,
I didn't like that part of the
it's sort of like someone
conversation.
telling you have to do something versus,
Well, it's
Want-
saying that we've done something wrong,
right,
and as far as I know, we haven't done anything
we've
wrong.
been living here.
That is wrong.
So do you want to put this off till next time?
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna put off the declaration of inclusion.
Okay,
We're not gonna be inclusive yet,
fine.
but
But we, and also maybe we encourage anybody to come in and do the next meeting if they have something to say about it. You're off,
yeah, thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
or, look at it on the website.
Yeah.
Just so we don't get the same kind of stuff we're getting with the noise ordinance.
Yeah. Let's see, so
What else? I mean,
this is the letter of support for private party application for Clean Water State Revolving Fund project.
oh, that's
Does
one.
Garrett, do we all have to sign the Microsoft payment? Mariah,
Microsoft payment?
it says Microsoft payment for 365 subscriptions
Needs.
for all the computers.
Oh, I don't know that. I didn't give you that.
From Becky,
It's, yeah. Maybe just you, Gary, I don't know. There's-
I don't know.
I
She
don't
just
know,
left.
she just left.
It should be in with all the other warrants.
There's all that,
This is about Merle Howe's old farm.
Yeah.
They're-
it's not the solar, right? It's just,
no, it's, they're trying to put together this White River Land Collaborative,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. They sent an email about it, so I read it, so I'm gonna just put it somewhere. It's gonna be an awful mess for you to straighten out tomorrow.
That's okay.
we just put all our 3 signatures down here.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to the town meeting minutes to do those. I can maybe do those
I have, and I didn't find any major mistakes, just
Okay.
a little tiny bit,
here and there.
and I don't remember. I'll bring them next time.
Okay.
Email to us or something.
I got mine hard copied in here, but you didn't send them
Oh,
out in an email, did
I
you?
might have.
I can send them in an email.
But John might have, Mike doesn't have any.
I probably excluded him on purpose. I probably wasn't inclusive.
Weren't inclusive?
Uh,
Maybe we'll
Is that
get-
posted somewhere, Mariah?
Maybe we'll get.
the
you-
inclusion thing?
No, the town of Tunbridge annual town meeting minutes.
Yeah, they're online.
Okay. You want those then?
Maybe, we'll have you sign the little inclusion document.
My signature has no clout in town, means nothing, so.
Never get anywhere thinking like that.
It's has
Even if-
no weight compared to Gary Mullen, chair of the select board.
That's true.
I heard the other day, I'm a legend.
You are,
in my
in
mind.
your own mind, yeah.
Is there a petition at the stores about that too? Sign Gary Mullen stuff, being a petition in his own mind.
Did you sign the South Royalton Rescue support letter?
I thought it,
I saw it somewhere.
yeah, just a minute.
Okay.
Now you got me all confused.
Do we want to postpone the tree warden, lister, select board chair, all that?
Yeah,
We don't have anybody anyway.
Well, do you want to, at least do the lister so that Rudy can get,
yeah,
Yeah,
Is Janet Wells gonna do it? What?
no,
Deb Moon.
yeah,
doesn't-
Rudy wants Deb.
Good.
I make a motion, we appoint Deb Mullen as lister until the next town meeting or
Yep. Yep.
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
yeah, it's gotta be for 1 year. All right, did you second that, John?
I second it.
I'm gonna abstain because she's my sister. But all
You
in
can
favor,
say all in favor.
I can't, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, so that's a pass.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna sign this thing for South Royalton Rescue.
Good.
That's okay. Fraction money.
What else? Mariah?
I have one thing for other business. Well, actually, I have two things. In your packets, the last 2 pages in your packets are two, or the last 4 pages, I guess. The recycling
Oh, yeah.
flyers and food scrap flyers. I wanted to get those printed big to have at the transfer station if you like them.
Print 'em.
Okay. I also printed off big piles of these as well that are paper clipped on the table right there in front of you so that you can hand these out at the
Okay.
transfer station.
What's this thing on the bottom? No marijuana? Oh,
Recycling,
no tulip.
no tulips and recycling.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, tulips, yeah, down here.
Yeah,
No pot in the recycling. Yeah, so there's hard copies of these.
Oh, pictures a little more in the center.
there you go, you're framed nicely.
On the desk if somebody wants to take them to the transfer station. And lastly, in your packet, there is an email from none other than Kathy Galuzzo. She hopes to see you at the rec breakfast this Sunday.
Well, I hope
She
to see
has
that.
She has a couple of requests for the baseball softball season. She needs equipment for the minor softball team. They have an estimate from State Line for $950. That's helmets, bats, balls, catcher's gear, bats, which she said already. And request 2 is for a removable mound for the Cal Ripken teams. $2,099 and will fit our needs for this to be a softball and baseball field. Request 3, which is more, she's letting you know, she found an option for Wi-Fi at the field. She plans on getting it in the works and you've already approved it. The person that can do the Wi-Fi will also include a speaker system and will be able to get the scoreboard up and running correctly.
Does he have a dollar amount for that?
For the whole thing.
What's that?
Does she have a dollar amount for request 3?
No,
How the heck
It
is
just
that?
says. We already approved it.
yeah, you already approved the Wi-Fi. so.
Well, I guess as long as it doesn't cost
She
you
just,
more.
I'm just letting you know, I found an
Okay,
option.
I don't remember that.
I do vaguely.
But does it have a dollar figure?
No, I don't remember what that was, but I vaguely remember her talking about that.
Do we want to make a motion that she can spend $2,099 for a Cal Ripton
Removable
Mound.
mound,
and $950 on helmets and bats and balls and catcher gear?
definitely the helmets. I make a motion, we approve. $2,099 for a removable mound. And $950 for equipment for the miners softball team for the rec department.
To come-
Using their own money.
Yes, good idea.
How'd you like that?
I second that. I like that.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Aye.
we could make a motion that approves of her doing the Wi-Fi option if how would we phrase this if it,
Well, if
Good
we've
next
already
meeting.
approved it. then-
all right, I guess if we approved it.
Well, if it doesn't exceed whatever we've already approved.
Right,
But
exactly.
I don't know what
But I
that is.
guess if we already approved it, that's just redundant, right?
Yeah, because that's just an FYI thing that she
Right.
was letting us know. So
So
hopefully she
just
doesn't,
letting
Hopefully
you
it's not
know.
$30,000, right?
but don't they have like
They're gonna
30
take
or
it, they're
$40,000?
gonna take it out of
Yeah.
their money anyway, so,
But don't they have a huge amount of money?
yes,
So that they can,
yes.
They can do it, but they can't just spend it on their own.
Right,
They're
right,
not
exactly.
supposed to.
Mike, did you see the first page of your packet was your, I needed you to sign it for. Since you were voted back in for select board at town meeting?
Saw that, I gotta sign that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'd like a little more excitement when you say that.
well, she's missing Oak Island, so there's.
Yeah.
not a lot
yeah,
of-
it's 5 minutes late, guys. They're gonna find something. Oh, Deb said he has it on right now. He's waiting.
Where do I sign it?
Oh, on the line that says signature. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, justice of peace?
no, that's another.
Underneath, yeah, I printed your name twice. So underneath like both of those, there's like 2 spots you have to sign.
Says justice of peace.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
you have to sign it anyways, or other office.
There you
Oh,
go.
man,
We'll figure it out.
Do you love that letter that the Conservation Commission wants to send? Do you guys, is that fine if they send it?
I haven't even looked at it.
That in our packet.
It's here somewhere.
Where is it? Where are they sending it?
They're sending it to the state. Probably you'll get it across your desk up there, John. It's just, they want to have the Saturday after Green Up Day to be declared Vermont Invasive Species Management Day.
Oh, okay.
That's a good thing.
Is this a statewide movement?
Yes.
Okay. And they're just collecting support from conservation commissions and select
clean
boards.
water.
Yeah.
Involving.
No. Yeah, see? Here it is.
I got the beginning. At the end of it, it's a big print like that.
Yeah.
You see the map? It's right on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
What's that of?
Merle's fine.
Oh, Chapman. Okay.
Well, it says they're signing it, so we don't have to sign it. I guess. we
Yeah,
just-
they just wanted you to see it and just like not have an issue with it.
Shining light.
That looks good.
Okay, do you guys have anything else from me, or do you want to sign the minutes or the warrants? Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here, Mike, I'm not there eating cheese.
Well, you could be.
You could
I
be.
know.
Finish their M and M's and
I did. I ate that whole container of M&Ms because I was sitting
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's good for you.
She's jonesing for.
now where are the
Oakland.
new minutes?
Right here.
Right there on the desk.
So you can put down, we're gonna look these over.
Okay.
First, because I haven't signed any orders. And I think you have.
Yeah.
I wish I'd brought a beer with me. And drink it right now.
Really?
Yep.
Nothing like orders and
Orders and beer,
Narragansett.
Some apple juice.
aged apple juice.
No, just the stuff you buy in the store. I think I may have had an ulcer, so I've been ordering bean and alcohol.
Oh, darn it.
So I've been putting the apple juice right to me lately.
That would be kind of zippy on your stomach.
Apple juice,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to bother me.
Have acid in it?
It's the pasteurized stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, maybe not.
It doesn't have alcohol in it though.
Your Kermit should get some.
That'd be good.
It's got alcohol in it.
All right, you can sign off if you want.
Yeah, see you later. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Did
Take
you
care.
see me, Mike, when I was running down the road with my stroller? Did you see me give you the peace sign on the way to the office?
Really?
It's not my idea of running. That was kind of a slow walk, I thought.
Oh,
You sure it was 2 fingers?
yeah, exactly. I'm not much of a runner, so that's all you're getting from me, but okay, guys, have a good night.
Good
Yeah.
night,
Okay.
Miranda.
Bye.